And we are live. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday night. The party's all here. Everybody's here. Only the cool kids come. You got to know the secret password if you want to be on this show. You have to knock. You guys remember? Did you guys have tree forts as kids? I had tree fort. We always had the secret knocks. The secret knocks. All right. Tonight we are going to I forgot my intro. Welcome to the hippest trip on YouTube, right? I'm gonna have to change that one day because I think since the way YouTube's been going, I might start streaming on Twitch, and maybe I'll have to say the hippest trip on the internet. So we'll have to see how that goes. The other thing is I have a co-host with me tonight because I am really under the weather. For some reason, my gut is doing the rerun dance, and it is locking and popping in there. So I am not on the top of my game tonight. So I asked Unirock to come and help carry the show with me. So say hi, everybody, to Unirock. Yeah, man.
There you are. How you guys doing? Nice to see you again.
All right, so he's all set up, and my special guest, man, me and Mike have been talking for months, and I've just never been able to coordinate to get him on the show. I'm so really surprised it took this long, and I apologize. Mike should have been on a long time ago, but we're happy to have him now. Mike has a channel on YouTube. Mike, I'm not exactly sure how to say your last name. Is it Dampier? I think.
Yes, it's Mike Dampier.
Dampier. Okay, I said it right. It's got a little Canadian flair. Dampier. And then he has a YouTube channel which talks about the Mandela Effect, but he also has some of his own music over there. I've caught a couple of his tunes over there, and I always dig the musicians. It's amazing how many musicians are interested in the Mandela Effect, how that kind of like they're right brain kind of people attracted to this. So without further ado, Mike, go ahead and tell us about yourself and your channel and how you got into this world.
All right, so my name is Mike Dampier, and I started off doing conspiracies. I was introduced when I was knee-high. I was maybe 10 years old, and that came from my oldest brother, Ed. He started showing me about backmasking. Ever since, I've been intrigued in conspiracies, and I've been studying, UFOs, paranormal, all this. And I've been making videos on this, but lately, I threw on my music just to let people know I'm still around, but my videos have been deleted. Strange things been happening with some videos, and I'm not afraid to come out and say what they are. And I was actually talking to Unirock. I'm going to actually show some of you guys to see if you're being watched. I know some people say they're being watched on Facebook. Well, there is a way to figure that out.
Oh, so intrigued. So because I feel like you used to have a lot more videos up, but you're saying you feel like you got hacked and a bunch of that came down because your stuff was controversial.
They've been just being deleted, and I would put one up, and less than an hour, they would be coming offline. Why? So for a full week, I lost my phone, internet. I had the local police show up to my house saying I was calling the police, 911, and I actually had to show the police officer my phone. It doesn't work. You click the talk button, it was just static about this. He goes, no, your number was calling. Strange things been happening. And on Facebook, again, I came across on how to figure out if you're being watched. Anybody with Facebook, here's how you can do it. You go to your settings, go to your blocking. In the blocking, you'll see a search little bar that comes up. Type in Facebook security. Now, I had 6 people that came up that were watching me. Delete 4 out of the 6. I still have 2 of them watching me. So that's one way to figure out if people are watching you. Type in the Facebook security.
And it actually gives you it gives you IP addresses of people that are watching your. I remember, I haven't been on Facebook in like 3 years, but I remember you used to be able to see who was signed in on your account, and you could kind of find out if somebody hacked you there would be an unknown computer on your account. But is that what you're talking about, or you mean this is a whole different thing?
This is a whole different thing. Again, when you go to your settings and then the blocking mode, there's a little search that comes up, and you could type in Facebook security, and you'll see people actually watching you. They're following you. They work for Facebook. They're just keeping an eye on us people out there.
Wow. I didn't even know you could do that, and that they would actually give you the option to find out. Just another reason I'm glad I deleted my Facebook almost 3 years ago. Jeez. People are always like, why aren't you on Facebook? I wonder. So what do you think happened to your YouTube
Well,
account?
this also works with Google, Twitter, YouTube.
What do you think happened to your YouTube?
Again, this happens on your YouTube, your Twitter.
But you can use the same thing? You can search, there's a block feature on YouTube, I can figure it out?
Free account.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike, say that again, buddy.
I'm not sure about YouTube. I couldn't figure out to find out if anybody's watching me on there. I'm not sure on YouTube if anybody's, like, I don't know how to find out if anybody's.
I think we're having connection issues, Doc.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
They give him a sec to catch up. He is from Canada, but that shouldn't matter too much, I don't think.
As long it depends on his signal mostly.
Mike, we're here. Just feel free to come back when you dropped out on us. If you want to go out of Hangouts and come back in, I'll set you back up. Unless they just quiet.
All right.
Oh, wait. Now I can hear you. What happened?
I'm here.
He's back. We got him back.
Oh, Canada. All right. I'm hoping that's what it is and no one's screwing with you. But so that's a real interesting thing because, yeah, there's some people that have been getting their YouTube's hacked lately and in their accounts. So, yeah, that always happens, I guess. You know, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Doc Bitter. When Bitter Truth was on, he told us the same thing had happened to him on his Facebook videos, and that's why he switched to YouTube to host his videos.
They kept taking him off Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, you guys got to keep in mind who the owner of Facebook is.
Tell us who it is.
A lot of people believe it's, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. That's just a fake name. Mark Zuckerberg, his real name is Jacob Greenberg, and he is the grandchild of one of the members of the Illuminati.
Okay. I'd love to hear this theory, honestly.
You could just look up Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, you could Google Mark Zuckerberg and Jacob Greenberg. They're the same people. And the Jacob Greenberg is, I forget what member of the Illuminati. I want to say David Rothschild, but I might be wrong on that one. So you got to keep in mind, the CIA invested, what, $500 million in Facebook when Mark Zuckerberg created this? Well, that's a little, you know, I don't think they're going to put that much money into a college kid. And it's ran by more of the elite. It's a control system.
You know, I always found it weird how some people can, you know, they can make something or they can get started and all of a sudden be picked up very fast, while others have ideas that are similar or even better, but they have the hardest time getting off the ground. You know,
yeah.
A lot of people do say that's the reason is the Illuminati, but you always wonder what do they mean.
The CIA wet their pants on Facebook because they're like, wow, people are going to willingly show us who their circles of friends are and put up fake pictures for face recognition. And, you know, I mean, they're going to willingly do it and hand it to us on a silver platter. Sure, we'll dump 500 million in here. You know, like, to me, it was the most genius move ever to get information. The thing they didn't count on was the strength of social media. I think it did kind of backfire and blow up in their face because people are able to find each other now more than ever that would have never, ever found each other before, you know? So I think social media in a way has been a double-edged sword for the powers that be. They love collecting the information, but the flip side is we're way more informed than we used to be.
Yeah, and we can form groups better. We can spread information better. You know, we know that there's certain attempts people say to stop us from doing that, but for the majority, I think we've gotten a lot of good information out and changed a lot of things. So,
Yeah.
What's your Mike? What's your theory on? I mean, how? I want to say what's your. I don't want to say what's your evidence, but what is some evidence that we have these figures who can do these things? You know, I mean, that's what everybody wants is evidence. Do you have anything that would help people believe this theory more, or?
With the Jacob Greenberg being Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, that's just something people will have to really investigate. You could search this up and you're going to have to make your own judgment call, because I'm not coming out and I'm not going to say, hey guys, this is it. This is just my intake on it. I believe it. We kind of live in a pyramid world. The pyramid, right? Like very famous for the Illuminati. Well, you got the citizens at the bottom, then the police, your military, your Freemasons, the Illuminati, then it goes up one more. But I'm going to get into that because the top people, I believe, are responsible for every conspiracy theory in the world. Theories are connected to each other. They use these conspiracy theories to divide us for hatred, for fear. It doesn't matter what it is. If they divide us, we're a lot easier to control. If we unite, well, then they have a harder time controlling us.
Yeah, I mean, remember, the gist of my show is we're always going to come back to a positive place. And I've always been a little hesitant about having a whole Illuminati show or, evil powers that be, but they do exist. It's real stuff. It's not conspiracy. This is true. But it's just a matter of how much attention and focus do you want to put on this? Because I feel like when you get to one of these places where that's all you think about, it puts you in a state of fear and paralysis, and everybody's listening and every corner is out to get you. And it's a very, if you're not careful, you can get sucked down the negative rabbit hole and not come back up. But
for sure, you gotta be.
And I think it attracts that energy to you too. You know, I mean, if that's all you think about, I believe in creating realities. That if all I think is everything's Illuminati, guess what? Everything starts becoming real Illuminati stuff. So I've always a little hesitant, but you said that you do also have a positive spin on this at the end. But let's go ahead and dive into it. So I'm not afraid to talk about it, especially if you think there's a link to the Mandela Effect and the Illuminati.
Okay, for sure, you guys got to be careful about getting lost and paranoid into searching the Illuminati. But this goes back to, I was talking to you, Dr. Lupo, in Discord. I believe the Mandela Effect is caused by the Illuminati. The reason behind this is because, again, every conspiracy theory, like the JFK assassination, he was going to call out the elite. John Lennon, he was saying a lot of the truth, assassinated. And it just kind of goes on like this. Now, the Mandela Effect, they created this, and this is, again, to divide us. So, like, I heard about a lot of family members fighting over Mandela Effect and such. It's to divide family, friends.
You know, it is really synchronistic that you've said this, because I was looking up some basic information for a show and came across exactly what you just said about Lincoln and JFK. And a lot of people have theories to why they had similar fates. But one thing that I found that had a lot of evidence behind it was the fact that they both were against the global banking system and against our money system. So, I mean, that is really strange, because I think I read this 1 or 2 days ago. And then to add another point into what you just said, the Mandela Effect, like, I think that we all do something very responsible by making sure that we do our best to keep a positive spin on it, because some people definitely get a little defensive and scared when it comes to anything in their life that can be changed or manipulated, and with good reason to be that way. So it's good that, like, I know that all of us do that, but I know there are some people that don't have that view. And I have seen many communities, and I was just speaking about this maybe 4 days ago or so on my live stream, how there's a few communities, maybe this was a week ago, but there's many communities that have appeared, and then they kind of split off into other communities, and now we see this very large kind of separated place where there's like 3 or 4 creators and 3 or 4 creators there. And I don't, my whole goal was to try to bring those people together, but it's been a lot harder than I thought it would. There's a lot more work than just sending out messages and asking them to come talk, I do see a little bit of evidence just from what's around us on YouTube into that theory, for sure. The hard thing about it is, like, when you get deep with JFK and the presidents and other things, is there's hundreds of conspiracy theories that go back and forth. So what do you think, Doc? What do you think about that?
That's the thing, is just about everything that we've ever been officially told ends up being a lie. So even though I think anything that has to be promoted or propaganda or taught over and over in schools that this is the way history really was, is probably a lie when you look into it, because as I said before, you don't really have to teach the truth. Like, people kind of understand the truth, and you don't have to constantly beat it in as repetitive knowledge and revisionist history kind of things if it's true. So I feel like as you get further and further in life, it's not only a lie, it's like dead opposite of what you're being told. It's very Orwellian. What do they call it? Social speak. I forgot. True speak, where 1984 True Speak, I think it's called, right? Where peace is war and war is peace, and that sort of stuff. So I'm sorry if I'm babbling, but I'm trying to lead back into that. I feel that most of the conspiracy stuff out there is absolutely true. If you look into it, it really is. And as Mike says, maybe they are leaking just enough to divide families and drive people crazy and make them go into the rabbit holes so they can't get out. I do believe the powers that be love fear and love control, and what better way to cripple someone in fear is to teach them that, there's this evil shadow of people that control everything that you can't do a damn thing about. That's a very paralyzing fear place to live. So I do believe in a lot of it. It's just, like I said, I don't like to give it power by focusing on it, because there's not a whole lot you can do about it, if it is true.
I believe we got to be careful on what we're watching, celebrities and all that. So again, I'm a religious person myself. I am a Christian. And one thing that I came across was Zechariah 11:17. In the Bible, Zechariah 11:17, it does say, "Woe to the idol that leaves the flock." Which my interpretation is, be careful of those celebrities that leave the truth. They will cover up their one eye with their hand. Any celebrities holding their hand over their eyes, like Rihanna, Eminem, all this, they've been actually into the elite. Now, I know I'm going to go a little bit more deeper here, but the Illuminati is not the top. They're actually controlled. Now, has any of you guys ever heard of the Cabal?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've heard of it in a general term, but I've never really had it explained to me or anything.
Okay, the Cabal are apparently above the elite, or the Illuminati. And the Cabal are known as Satan soldiers. Now, this here, they're very hard to really research on, but I came across this stuff. So as one of the videos that I was going to make that was actually deleted on me was about the Cabal. And that came down less than an hour on both Facebook and YouTube.
Wow. It is strange. I uploaded a video today and it wouldn't let me take it out of private. Like, because if you put a video in private, no one can see it. And I had to sit there for like 5 minutes and finally just redo everything to get it not in private mode. And I wondered why, but I might be being paranoid saying anything could be because of that. But,
well, I'm definitely not paranoid. I'm not a paranoid person, and I hope not to freak out anybody else. This is just I've came across. And
I mean, let me add in though that I don't think people have to be freaked out over it, because like if there's one thing that we all know is true, in the very least, it's that there are a level of people, not a level, but there are a group of people who do the majority of the work, and then a group of people who do have the majority of the money. And we know that's an absolute truth. So, I mean, discussions about why that is, I think all help to make us understand our society better more than anything. So, just like the doc said, we all do a great job about keeping out of the negative. So I don't see the harm in it. I've never heard about the cabal in that, described that way though. That's very interesting.
Again, you guys could research this. They're spelled CABAL. Very hard to research though. And something happened in 2003. Between 2003 and 2006, where documents and stuff were leaked out. So people started kind of going more into this and researching and coming across definitely strange things. Again, I believe all the conspiracy theories are linked to each other, from the Mandela Effect to UFOs. It doesn't matter. Assassinations, they're all linked, and it's all to kind of divide us, trick us, make us kind of fearful. But thanks to people like Dr. Lupo and his groups, you see the love in his groups, and they're coming together. They're helping each other out.
Yeah, I always come back to that as like, okay, let's pretend for a minute that every conspiracy out there is true, and it's on the front page of the news and everybody knows. Okay, now what? You know, like, I don't think, I think most people prefer to stay asleep and be asleep, and they're happy asleep, and they don't want to be woke up. And I think that the best you can do in your life is take something positive you can do in your own world and focus on that. Because the more you focus on all this evil stuff all over the world that you can't do anything about, it just depresses you, man. It's a bad place to be. And I could see why you're saying that if I were running the world and I wanted to divide people, leaking out this kind of stuff to rip apart families and friends and make people polarized on topics, it's like creating, I honestly think the whole, politics is the same way. It's just created to keep people divided, not to bring people together. And I think that there are probably evil forces that feed off that energy and that chaos. They love it.
So, Mike, like, what have you found that, I don't want to say backs up the existence of any certain group, but what made you start believing in this more than what other people do or don't? I mean, what was the thing that got you, I guess?
Okay, well, I'm not really good on how to send stuff over here or even to show it up, but my wife also studies with me, and we came across this, and there's just so much that there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on that it's hard to explain. If I come out, I'll just sound like I'm going to be Dr. Lupo's craziest guest on.
Go ahead, man. I'm opening the door. We're adults. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. And, a lot of people in the chat room are agreeing with you, so I don't think you're too far off. So go ahead.
Nope.
Okay, so the cabal, like I said, they are Satan's soldiers, and they also have, in Hollywood especially, Zionist Jews that run that, and they're the fake Jews. They're cloning celebrities. They're doing all sorts of stuff that's so out of whack. I mean, this stuff that's going on, it's definitely weird, but again, like you guys said, you can't get caught up in there. You can't be paranoid. You know, and I don't want to freak people out about it.
You're not freaking me out because it's so weird, but I saw so much stuff on this clone thing, and I know it's like the craziest place to go to. It sounds like it is, but some like it's that kind of like conspiracy and that kind of evidence that really gets you because it seems like there's so much evidence for it. I looked this up a little bit because I was kind of pushed to look it up by someone else. Kind of like I was when I started the Mandela Effect. I wouldn't look at it much, and I was kind of pushed to look at it. And I looked at this clone thing, and I was like, my heavens, there's so much evidence here. I mean, they had pages, and all of it was good. See, that's a lot of the evidence you get sent is kind of iffy. Some of it's iffy. I really think that this conspiracy, whether it's true or not, they've done a great job collecting evidence on this. They almost have me convinced. So do you have any more on the clone thing that you could tell us about or anything like that? Because I know some people haven't heard about it at all.
Okay, I do believe it was he's a funny guy, Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he came out saying that he's cloned. He said there's probably 3 or 4 of me. You could find this video on YouTube. Just type in Kevin Hart admitting that he's cloned. And he comes out saying this. There's a couple other celebrities that do admit it. A few rappers, but I don't listen to rap, so I'm really bad with their names. But I believe his name just B.O.B, like B.O.B or Bob or whatever they call him. I don't listen to rap, but he was another one that came out stating he was cloned and his memories are going too. Some of them are losing memories. Videos of, you see celebrities just start really glitching and they act weird. Their facial expressions and everything. This is not human. But again, I mean, you guys definitely look into it. I'm not going to say this is true. You guys definitely got to have your own judgment on this.
Yeah. I didn't want to ignore Burma's been on here for like 20 minutes and I felt really bad. I forgot to unmute her. So Burma, go ahead and throw your 2 cents in on this about
my God,
clones, Illuminati, whatever you'd like, any of the topics.
Those are deep rabbit holes. I mean, I've been down those like a long time ago. And Kanye West was one that just went like, that was not too long ago where he went off the deep end and then he came back and he didn't even look the same. And you got all the female some of the females like Britney Spears and I'm trying to think of Miley Cyrus and all these girls. Britney doesn't even look like the same girl. And not only the fact that they all have these alter egos. What's up with that? The alter ego thing seems to be happening a lot. It's with the women though. It's not with the men. And then they talk about how this is just okay. This is just research. I'm not saying it's true, but MK Ultra. They're saying they do like this splitting of their minds while they're very young, and then that does that to people. Like, I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Of that whole thing?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, they're not getting their full memory put into these clones, so they start acting different and such. Another one I do that I know of is Avril Lavigne. She actually has another clone of her. If you take a look at the old Avril Lavigne compared to now, there's a big difference.
She was pretty young
like you
when
said,
she
Britney
came out. Avril Lavigne, when she
Yeah.
first came out, she was young. She was very young. So, I mean, I think sometimes they could change a little bit, but the drastic changes that some of them are doing I don't know. I've done the research into that. And I guess once you've been down those rabbit holes and you see how things are, I'm just like, I don't really need to see that much more anymore, because it just proves to me that the world is not as it should be,
Yeah, and if you look at like what you were saying about the female celebrities that have split personality type thing, it goes beyond like a lot of when you meet someone who has that disorder, the actual medical disorder,
Right.
It goes beyond that, because I've seen a lot of videos and it's like it's creepy, because there are 10 at least that I saw in back to back that were admitting into cameras, and they took all of them, compiled them into one video. They were all female, and they were admitting, yeah, I have two personalities and they all said the words that live inside my head and that come out at different times. Now, I almost at first was thinking, well, this seems like a trend. Maybe one of the bigger ones said this a while ago, and now they're all mimicking that one to try to be cool or something. But, you know, the more you look at it, the more it's like they honestly live it. Like they completely live this. Not split personality, but another person lives in them and comes out for weeks at a time. Sometimes.
Look at Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's another one, and her whole entire other persona, right? I love the spinner, by the way. The other persona that she has has a whole different accent than she does. It's really odd. I mean, I find the behavior odd to begin with, but like, I guess if you go into the real medical term of it, there are real reasons why this happens to these people. And it doesn't surprise me if they're in Hollywood or in the music business that it becomes, you know, they get very influenced by certain people that might not be good people, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Mike, what do you...
Yeah, I seen in the chat. Yeah, I seen in the chat somebody also posted about Katy Perry. How she's not the same. Yeah, there's another one too that you could see her doing Illuminati symbols. And one of the big symbols you'll see musicians do and you know they're in the Illuminati is the symbol like this. You'll see a lot of them are the eye cover up. They cover up their eye or they're doing this. And there's many, many musicians who do this on covers and stuff. It's not just like talking and you're doing that or nothing. They're actually on their albums doing this kind of stuff.
Have you seen Trump doing that? Have you seen Trump?
Yes.
Trump does this
Obama.
Constantly, yes.
Yes, there's a whole other theory on Trump too, and I only read about it quickly, so I don't know too much about it. Apparently, he died in the 80s, and he's a clone. But again, I only touched up lightly on it, so...
Did you hear about the, what was it? Was it his grandfather or something about time traveling? Did you guys hear anything about that one? His grandfather time traveled, right? I don't know the whole like background on it. I just did a little bit, dived into that just a little bit. So
okay, so I know a little bit too myself on that, and that was his uncle, John Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, and John Trump was ordered to go into the office or the laboratory or whatever of Nikola Tesla and go through all the paperwork. After 15 days, John Trump came out saying all the work is useless. Well, anybody that follows Tesla, we know his work is not useless. Tesla was a very, very smart person. So the rumor has it that John Trump stumbled on Tesla's time-traveling device, and he started doing the time traveling, and that's how Donald Trump got in, apparently. Again,
that's crazy. That's an awesome theory. Because I always say, I always said to myself, if Donald Trump gets elected, I know I'm living in a parallel universe. I've said this on my channel like a million times, and then he got elected. I'm not putting him down either. I know there's Trump supporters out there.
I feel the same way about Hillary, though. I didn't like Trump either. Don't get me wrong, but I thought if Hillary gets it, we're like, right?
It was like normal. Not saying she should have got elected. Just it would seem more normal if she did. You know.
Well, you know what's really like. Oh, sorry, Andy. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was going to go back to that hand signal thing. So if you've got more on this, go ahead. No problem.
No, I was just going to say, I always thought it was funny that I was like, well, I would, you're picking the lesser two evils, right? But I was like, then I started thinking, look at all this information that's coming out about Hillary, and they're letting it all come out, right? I'm like, they don't want her in. They actually want us to vote for Trump.
I said
and then I'm like, oh, that's not good. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, if they want you, they're trying to be like, oh, look over here and don't vote for her. And then
I thought it was strange because she was up, and then all that fake news came out. Now, whether it was real news or fake news, it was pushed to make people vote a certain way. I'm not getting political, I promise. So the thing was, it was like Hillary's here, all that stuff comes out, she's down here, and then Trump slides right in, which is like, yeah, I that's why I brought this up, though, was I agree with you on that point, that maybe it was a planned thing to get people to vote a certain way. And then, like, if you look back at other times when that's happened, you say to yourself, wow, this is some evidence for the Illuminati right here, like hardcore. I mean,
well, the problem with voting, when it comes to voting, let me straight to you guys, okay? It is an election, not a selection. The people that are already placed in there for that election, they're already picked. It's not a selection. We're not going in. Our votes don't matter. They're useless. And the only proof I have on this is I wish I had a camera back about, close to 10 years ago. My brother ordered up an encyclopedia for I forget what year exactly, but I'm going to guess around 2000. He orders up an encyclopedia at Christmas time, and it was for the following year. So come that year, they actually already had the president in this encyclopedia.
oh,
So this is planned. Yes, this is planned. Keep this in mind, guys. It's not an election, but a selection.
well, I get that. And, I want to make sure we don't go too political and we stay on the, Illuminati side of it, which you are just fine. But the thing is, like, the whole electoral college thing gets me. And I'm only saying this in a Illuminati term, I promise you. But it seems so strange to me that, the American people vote, but they don't go off of the American people's vote. Then you have another college of people who take the information and say, well, we'll consider the American vote and then vote. It's just strange to me. And I was going to ask Mike, does that show you, I think you just answered me though. I was going to say, does that show you something about more proof of the Illuminati? But it kind of, I would say, has to. I don't know.
I think it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? And plus the fact that if you look back in the Illuminati, you could probably trace, let me think here. My brain's not working tonight. You could probably, the Masons, not to be like smaller ones. I'm not talking about those. And or the what are the other ones back in the day that Masons end up becoming? There was a group, they were hooked in with the Catholic Church.
Rosicrucians or no?
No. Does it? I can't. Oh God,
The
I'm
Scottish,
so sorry.
Scottish, right?
It's there's actually a lot of groups that are all in that kind of realm. You better feel better, Doc. Jeez.
I know. I'm like Lazarus. I'm back. I'm back.
He has risen.
If voting were legal, voting did anything, it wouldn't be legal. I think my audience is hip on that it's all chosen and
giving you the illusion of choice.
Right. And another reason people get so mad, and I'll be like, why do you care about politics? Well, turn off your damn TV. I honestly, and I know people think this is crazy because I was like a political activist. I didn't even think Trump was really president. I thought my friends were pulling my leg because I paid that little attention. I was like, come on. Come on. I thought that was a joke. He's still in it. And someone was like, yeah, that's our real. I was like, come on. I didn't even believe it because I was that far out of it. And you know what? None of that stuff matters in my life. Like, I sit there and I'd watch these people, especially no offense, guys, the older generations, like my parents and grandparents and stuff. They'll watch politics on CNN for hours a day, like every little thing matters. And I remember a wonderful quote. Someone's going to know who said this. I can't remember who said it, but they said the way to control politics, basically the talk in America, is you define very rigid orders and then allow wild debate in that narrow margin. So you can define red and blue and then let them go crazy in this little area. But you never hear people say big questions like, should we get rid of government? Should we remove stuff that's oppressing us? Should we remove money? There's never any deeper questions than Hillary and Trump. Let's talk about that on politics for 20 hours. So it's such a
that's just again another way to divide the people. And if you take a look what's going on, all these riots and rallies going on now with still going on. That's just a perfect example.
It is. It's all a big distraction. And I keep saying to people, all that crap that happens outside there, it is not my reality. Like, I don't know what's going on in all these other parts of the world and the governments, and there's nothing I can do about it anyway. It's not like, you know, unless I'm going to get on a plane and go over there, there's nothing I can really do. So why give it any sort of attention? Instead I'm going to grow a garden and learn how to feed myself, or instead I'm going to, you know, go do something nice for a neighbor. Like, try to focus on positive stuff you can control in your own life, because if you get sucked in that politics BS, man, don't vote. There's a million better other things you could do on voting day than go vote.
I do know some people that are. We had some local ones recently, and some of the girls took off. The massage therapist took off to like go vote, and I'm just like,
it makes people feel good, like they have a voice.
If they want to, I'm not going to stop them. But at the same time, I just can't. I haven't been doing it since, I think my last time voting for president was Perot. And when I found out that everybody I knew voted for that man and he didn't get in, I was just, it just showed me the reality of what's going on, and that it doesn't matter. I mean, I sat there for hours fighting with my scorpion. My dad's a Scorpio, so we're like this. So we fought for hours about politics, and it goes nowhere. So I'm like, I'm not even. Yeah,
I mean, I'm basically a radical anarchist, and you know, the Thanksgiving dinners would be ridiculous in my house. It would be, someone would always be like, you know, what do you think about the XYZ politician? And I'm like, well, you know, it's all the same to me. They're just stealing your money by force. And, you know, talk about interrupting a nice, pleasant Thanksgiving. You know,
with politics.
I bring it right down to the moral, you know, yeah, everything's just using force to steal money from your friends and family. Yeah, go ahead and vote that way. And that's just not a good, you know, libertarians don't, it's not a good argument. Don't bring up politics at Thanksgiving, guys.
Not Christmas either. Those are two bad times.
Yeah. All right. I am going to do a little segment before I forget to do it, called I'm going to clear out my desktop. I'm going to show you a couple new Mandela things that have come across in the last month that you probably have heard about. I don't know if you have or not. So let me show you a few, though. Okay. And then we will dive into this more. But I want to do this because I've been putting this off forever. Darn it. Of course, my screen share doesn't work when I want it to work. Hold on. Okay, so anyway, this is interesting. This was Marlene had posted this. She said to go ahead and use this. These are two things that look a little odd to me. Now, I don't know. Can you guys figure out what's wrong with these candy bars?
Well, wasn't it Reese's and not Reese? And O. Henry's doesn't look right at all.
Right. Reese's with an S. Mm-hmm. It's always like Reese's Pieces, not Reese. Right. Now, I don't know if, because she's in Canada, maybe this is like a French version of it. I don't know. Because I looked in my place and there was still, some of them were called Reese and some were called Reese's. So I don't know if they're switching it or what's up. But the O. Henry screws me up because there was never an OH. It was just O. Henry. It wasn't O. Henry. Like, you know, that just looks wrong. I don't know. What's you guys' take on that?
No, that's not right.
Well, I mean, they are a different language, though. So I'm not saying they're not different, but I can tell that they are. So I mean, it could go both ways for me right now until I looked into it.
Right. Maybe it is a Canadian version of it. I don't. I thought I would throw it off there just to.
The O. Henry thing is getting me because I just realized, OH. I
think it was always just an O
before like that.
Well, we have a Canadian on our panel.
My take on it is Reese peanut butter cups. That looks proper, but the little kind of like the Smartie handies, the little round ones, they were called Reese's Pieces. And for the O. Henry, I'm not sure if that one's for O. Canada. They came out with a 2-4 box of O. Henry. So I'm not sure if that's the new product.
Oh, okay.
You could buy a 2-4 box of it. Like it looks like a case of beer, but it's 24 chocolate bars of O. Henry. This is released for Canada's Day, so I'm not sure if that's what it is.
You know, Taryn, before you go on real quick, I just wanted to say that somebody had posted in Discord, I think it was Discord, about M&Ms, right? So I went out and I looked at them. Do you know on the back package of M&Ms, it states right on there, genetically engineered?
I think a lot of states are making them do that now.
Well, all I gotta say is I will never be buying M&Ms ever again.
Oh, come on. What did you think that candy? You're buying candy and then judging if it's going to be healthy?
I don't eat that stuff very much, but that's one of my favorites. And why didn't you have to put it on the package? Now you just ruined it for me.
It's like those people that smoke and they complain that their food's not organic. It's like, come on. All right. Anyway, let's take.
Are you picking? I think you might be picking. Come on, let's go. I got 4 days off.
All right. Let me show you this one. This was given to me. I don't know if they wanted their name on air, so I'm not going to say it. But this is out of the Bubba Gump factories. They're like little tourist traps that are in Savannah, Georgia, and there's a couple of them. They like cook shrimp or whatever, and it's like a restaurant. And they found a bunch of residual on the Forrest Gump stuff in the Bubba Gump shop. So there's your life is like a box of chocolates still is around. So that's one. I know it's a little old, but I did want to show it because people are giving me these, and I figured I should show them. What do you guys think of that one? Interesting.
Awesome.
I do like that Mandela Effect though. That one got me in the beginning, so it's a big one for me.
Yeah, I did a video on that one, and on the back of I have the old VHS, and it says "Life is like a box of chocolates." I did a video on that.
Yeah. Here's another one from the same company. Look at that. A ladies shirt. So you can see that one. Unless well, maybe I shouldn't say ladies anymore. Okay. I can pull it off. I can wear pink. All right. So let's see this. What is the crowd saying in our chat room? Are you guys all?
I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I've been typing a little.
I resemble that remark.
Well, I was just teasing about the people that were always complaining about those. My food's not GMO organic. Let me smoke some cigarettes and drink a beer and some wine.
Listen, I don't do all that, but I can't help that I'm addicted to cigarettes. And you know, you can't be like, I mean, like, at least I am trying to be a little bit healthier. I can't.
Reese cups are GMO.
You know what? Last time I come on your show, see how you are. Pick on me.
My Captain Crunch is not GMO.
I don't eat all that junk. It's just my M&Ms. I mean, like, I like peanut M&Ms, and it's the peanuts that are that. And don't pick on me, damn it. I come on the show. I could get that in my own life.
All right, let me show you the next one. Next bit of residual floating around. This one was pretty cool, actually. I think this is an old keychain from the 80s. And take a look at what that says.
That one's nice.
I just saw this movie where he says this, and it says that he will come, and it really bugs me out, man. It's so scary when you hear him say it to me. I don't get that. Like, it's so obvious.
Who is he? Are they talking about God or who's coming?
It makes no sense in the movie when they change that whole premise of it.
In the movie, I believe they're referring to his dad, if I'm not mistaken. But I still remember it as, if you build it, they will come.
I thought they were the whole team, right?
Yes.
Right, the whole team comes.
And I heard people say, if you build it, he will come. It's referring to his dad. But I haven't seen that movie in around 15, 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, that's what someone's saying. It's his dad. See, I always thought the movie was about his favorite stars come. Like all of his favorite greats come and play at one time. So I always assumed they made sense. You know, it was about a group of people.
Yes.
Okay. This one's a little older. I mean, I know this has been talked about the last few weeks, but I have not talked about it, and I figure I'll throw it up there. So let's talk about this because Mike, you said you're a Christian on the panel. Okay, what do you think about this painting? You guys remember this in the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo? What's wrong with this painting?
Well, one thing I know that I've heard is the brain. He's coming out of a brain or a human pineal gland. It's either a pineal gland or a brain is behind him. And a lot of people said that was strange. But that was just one thing.
Well,
let me talk so I can see what it. I don't know
Okay.
about this one.
Mike, do you know what's wrong with this one? Was man ever on the same level as God in this picture?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, he was reaching
I
down
believe-
on me.
I'm
man-
not really good with art, but I believe
Ah.
that was the creation of his angels first with him, and then him creating man. I believe that's how it went. But again, you know, there's some, like, I've been asked about some biblical Mandela effects.
Well, let
And
me.
one thing is,
Okay, go ahead.
okay, sorry. Yeah, one thing is wineskins and bottles. Well, I read the old King James Version Bible, and mine has bottles in it. But if you read the new James King Version, it will say wineskins. So I do read both of them. Like, I flip flop, and they do have different wordings in there. So I'm not sure. I've personally never seen a Bible Mandela effect. I do remember somebody coming up to me and asking me, "Hey, you believe in the Bible? You believe in unicorns?" Said, "Well, yeah, unicorns." Growing up, I was only, again, knee high, 8 years old or so, learning unicorns meant a one-horned rhino in the Bible. So a lot of them didn't really have an effect on me.
What about
Before- wait, wait,
the
wait,
Lion and
wait,
the
wait.
Lamb?
Wait. Before we get all deep into that, let me finish what I was doing here. All right, this is the residual that we found that is more my memory. Now, why would they draw this one, a parody of Bart doing this with God way above and not side? You understand? This is what I remember as God was above, reaching for man below. Does this look more
That looks
familiar? Or
better.
am I?
No, that actually, I think that's
Mhm.
the way it was originally, not even.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Now you guys can go down the Bible.
Oh, so I was just wondering about what do you think about the Lion and the Lamb?
Okay,
You know?
that one there, again, I learned this as a kid, as the wolf was with the lamb, the leopard with the goat, the calf with the lion, and a child that leads them. So I do remember the wolf and the lamb being together. This is just my opinion. Like, I'm not saying it hasn't changed for people, but on my side, I do remember this, and I can see a confusion of people. There's, again, the wolf, the lamb, leopard, goat, lion, and the calf. There's many different animals in this one little verse. So to me, like, I'm not going to say people are mistaken, but I do always remember it as the wolf and the lamb.
That's wow. Yeah, that one was a big one for me because the residual is just out there, and of course there is so much of the Lion and the Lamb, and to me the wolf and the lamb makes no sense to me, especially when it's supposed to be, when it was always been depicted as the lion and the lamb, not about the whole story, just about those two together. All the, you know what I mean, like everything
And
that
that,
people. Go ahead.
it's a little passage. It's a little passage, and it does say something like the wolf will lay with the lamb, the leopard will lay with the goat, the calf will lay with the lion, and a child will lead
Yeah,
them. It was just a small little passage, but many animals named in that passage. So like, again, for me, I remember it that way, but I'm not gonna say anybody's wrong at all. It definitely could have
Mike,
changed for people.
can I ask you a question, man? What did you mean by the new King James Bible? Like, I haven't looked for a new Bible or paid attention to new versions of the Bible in, I don't even know how many years. So this could just be lost to me, but I thought there was only one King James version.
Okay, the King James version will say thy and thou and have the older terms, as in the New King James version will say you and your, and they have slightly different words. Like, again, my King James Version Bible, I read the old one, and it says bottles. If you look at the New James King Version, it will say wine skins. So again, I'm not gonna say people they're not seeing changes or nothing, but my opinion, I haven't seen it because I do have. In fact, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 Bibles just to the left of me here. I have different versions of them, and I see them change throughout there. If you read the New International Version, passages and words change slightly. So I'm not sure if that's something, but for me, I haven't seen no changes, and I'm not going to say, it doesn't exist. I mean, it definitely could happen to people. People could see changes. Again, I remember Monopoly guy with the monocle. Some will say, no, he never had it. Some will agree with me.
He had a monocle.
So it could just be, it just could be something that, I've seen my whole life this way, and others seen it change.
Well, see, that's the thing. When I started hearing about the biblical Mandela effect changes, I went in and was looking around and, saying like, gosh, this has to be an issue of translation and an issue of many different, because I mean, like if you go to the Bible Gateway, which is where I look up a lot of Bible verses when I'm researching stuff like that, you can do a drop-down menu and it is enormous. There are so many versions of it. And I mean, I knew there were so many more than I knew of though, but I always thought the King James was like there was only one. But so yeah, that does help me a lot, because I'm going to go research into this and look at the differences between those, like the version that has thou and stuff and the version now. So that'll help out.
The new James King version is just, if you never read the Bible, read the new James King version, and it's easier to understand, as the older one is kind of like Old English.
I always read the old one though. I like the old one. I don't like the new one.
Here's a little fun fact just thrown out there. William Shakespeare translated parts of the Bible into English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I thought that was definitely neat. But
I like to go in and find out the root word and then see what all translations have happened for this one word, and then apply it to the phrase to try to understand it more, with phrases. So.
Well, the best way to do it is actually to be, I mean, it's terrible because it'd be really hard to do it, but to do it in its original writing, which was what would the Bible was originally Aramaic. Is that right?
Yeah, I always go back to those. When I find a word, like when the wineskin bottle thing, I'd always look at that in the original, I guess Aramaic. I forgot what language it is. It's been like a month since I've done significant research.
I'm not sure, but I mean, that's the best way, because when you translate it down into so many different languages, it does in some ways lose its meaning to some degree. So if you would need, if you really want to be a Bible scholar, then you just need to go back.
Something that will help for anybody studying any bibliography or Bible studies, a book that will help is they have a Bible dictionary. So they'll let you know like translation and words in the Bible that you don't understand. You can look up this word and it'll let you know exactly the modern day meaning.
Yeah. And what about,
I'm sorry,
where does the Illuminati fit into all this? I mean, the topic you were on was that. Do you have any links between we went to Mandela Effect for a while, so we might as well delve into that a little. What kind of links? I know you said some stuff. What else do you have?
Okay, with the Illuminati in the Bible, well, again, as I said, it's kind of like a pyramid scheme. We got citizens, the police, military, our government that are puppets, the Freemasons, Illuminati, and on top is the cabal. These cabal, the people are known as Satan soldiers, fallen angels, and this is right in my Bible. Fallen angels came and they're going to walk the earth. So I could see this definitely being a big trick they're doing for Mandela Effect and many other conspiracies out there, but I'll keep it to the Mandela Effect. Why not? It's this topic, Mandela Effect, is a good way to divide people. You could see people, I talked to some saying, my family, we start getting into fights, my friends, and they divide and they won't even talk anymore. Well, that's just one theory I have on that.
But I also think that the reason that that is happening is because people are letting it divide them. You know what I mean? Like I I don't personally think, my own opinion, that the Mandela Effect was created to divide us. Yes, it is another dividing thing, absolutely, because everything in our lives divide us. Whether it's politics, whether it's race, religion, you could just go down throughout the lines, right? So, I mean, if you let it, I don't necessarily think that the Mandela Effect is a bad thing. I think it's a good way to wake people up and make them be very diligent about looking at things.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Right.
I believe it's to kind of awaken people, but some of them are just so blindsided and stubborn, they don't see changes, and that's where it causes the division, if you want to say. I believe we're supposed to help each other, explaining each other. So all my theories I do is just trying to open people's minds, and I'll never say anything that I talk about is going to be 100% true. I just want people to have an open mind on what I talk about, and they could definitely research and have their own judgment on what I talk about.
Yeah, that's right. They have to use their own discernment.
All right, I've enjoyed listening to this. I'm going to jump back in for a minute. I'm back too. And the way I think we can go back into the Bible. I've still wanted to do a Christian show forever, but it keeps getting put on the back burner and rerouted. I can't seem to get a bunch of guests that get along, so I gotta get the right panel, I think. That being said, hopefully we can make it happen. If God's will make it happen, I will allow it. I love it on the channel. All right, so let's talk about some of these creatures that are being found. All right, so this is a new Mandela creature. If you guys haven't seen him, I don't know what y'all think about that, but no, I just am BS.
Like,
I was gonna say, like, wait, I remember that picture.
I just wanted to talk about Bat Boy.
actually a really well done
That boy.
picture, though. That's pretty scary looking.
Oh, I used to
You
love
see that
Bat
flying
Boy.
up in the sky.
I had this picture of Bat Boy on my desktop for a while, and I was like, I'm just going to throw it in as if it's a new Mandela animal and see if people say anything. Somebody will believe it.
Be careful, you'll get a video made, a couple videos. People start making them.
Can't believe he's pushing that animal.
That's right. We should just start this and see if all of a sudden people start making videos. Did you see the Bat Boy? Because if you guys didn't know, all right,
That
the
will
story
happen.
behind Bat Boy was that the Weekly World News for you guys, because I forget that some of our listeners are like 20 years old and they don't even know what the Weekly World News was. So they have magazines like the Inquirer and stuff like that you guys know about. But in the 80s and 90s, the one that just had the craziest stories was the Weekly World News. It was the best one. Like there was always pictures of Bigfoot going out to eat lunch with Hillary Clinton or whatever. And it was like, and Bat Boy was one of their topics that they always talked about. So I'm a big Bat Boy fan. All right. So yeah, let's see if they're all mad at it. No, they're laughing. Okay, there we go.
Rachel's back here laughing real loud.
People are talking about like real animals, and I'm laughing about Bat Boy. Okay, this one's going to be a little harder, and I'm hoping Unirock will use his superpowers and find a better shot of this. But this was something that was very interesting. And this is a real one. I'm going to go back to stop joking around here. All right.
Sure, he's gonna put up another one.
No, it won't let me screen share. All right, there we go.
Because it knows you're messing with us.
Okay, you're going to have to look carefully on this. But this is the back of the Susan B. Anthony coin. You guys remember the Susan B. Anthony? It came out, I think, in, like 79?
Oh, yeah.
On the back of this, if you look real careful, the Earth, here's the U.S.
Oh, look at that.
Underneath it, straight down, is South America. South America is not way out here. It's straight down. This glob here is South America.
Awesome.
And the problem is this is so tiny, you have to blow it up and blow it up to see it. But it's on this coin right here.
I bet you I have a Susan B. Anthony somewhere.
And so I'm curious if anyone has seen that yet. I thought that was a pretty interesting thing. And what do you guys think of that?
That's awesome, actually. I think I'm gonna go find my
that is
Susan
really
B.
cool.
Anthony.
Was it too hard to see? Or
No, you can totally see it.
No.
Yeah, that's how I remember that. That one really bugs me. So
Are you trying to talk about how South America is like all the way to the right now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's like, I know we always talk about the map changes, but that is probably the one that bugs me the most. That South America is about like 300 to 400 miles east where it was, and so I remember it being right under the U.S. It wasn't 300 or 400 miles east. It was pretty much the same as I would say it went all the way out to maybe edge of Canada, Newfoundland, maybe.
Yeah, I
or
thought like
Nova
Texas
Scotia.
was kind of like the middle of where the western coast would come out. That's where I remember it. And then Cuba. Cuba bothers me too.
Right.
Cuba is totally bothers me.
What do you mean it's too close?
Cuba's too far north. Yeah, if Katrina would have came up through the Gulf like it did, it would have taken out Cuba. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Granted, she wasn't as, the storm wasn't really that big when it was down there, but it still gained speed as it came up. And I know because I was on the road and we were watching it because we were coming down around that area. So we had to be careful. When you're in a truck, you don't want to be in a hurricane. It's no fun. Not even in a band, in an arm. I've been in that. Scary.
Oh, so I just wanted to point those out because I'm going to, you know what, I'll do this one too, even though this has come up many times, but we'll bring it up just because I haven't seen too many people. What is Dodge logo? I don't know what he's talking about. Something wrong with the Dodge logo? That's new to me.
That's new to me too.
So he'll have to tell us that. Okay, so people have talked about Walmart. I don't know where I'm at on this because the Walmart trucks, there's a lot of old ones driving around, and a lot of people remember the Walmart Dash and the Walmart Star, and then I think it's like some sort of asterisk now or something like that. This was pretty recent shot, but then I remember also, let me show you this. This is the history of it though. So here's the Walmart.
Is always good.
Yeah, here's the Walmart history logo. Okay, so I remember, like, especially growing up, the Dash and then the Star. But when me and Kate talked about this, she was saying that they didn't go to this asterisk thing until like 2 or 3 years ago. There was no way it was before 2008. Like, she remembers the Star up until about 2 or 3 years ago. Like, this is 10 years too early, almost 9 years. So I don't know where we are on that. If anybody else has those memories of Walmart, it's not that I don't remember the dashes and the stars, but I feel like the logo changed later.
It does seem to me that it's a little weird, like being on the road and seeing a lot of the Walmart trucks and actually going to Walmarts and dropping off. I remember the way that it looks in the 92 to the 2008. I know that they switched over to the asterisk, but that seems really early to me too. I remember more of the trucks. Now, granted, they have those trucks out there for how long with those logos, so they're not going to go and repaint everything, right? So maybe that's, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's where I was. I figured since you were a trucker, you would have probably had seen the heck out of these things.
Peterbilt is another one. Peterbilt, that is messed up.
I don't know what Peterbilt is.
Peterbilt, the truck Peterbilt. It was always, it wasn't spelled like Bilt, B-U-I-L-T. It was Peter and then Bilt, B-I-L-T. No, it was, yeah, that's right. It's totally different. It's the word is too long now. And I know, because I drove those trucks. I drove the truck, so I know. I mean, you can't own a truck and not know how to spell the flipping name of your truck, especially when you're a truck driver. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you would know if you've been driving that around. And that reminds me of, we were the first people, Kate was the first people to notice the Schwann's logo change. Like, we were the first people to talk about it in the story about the Schwann's was spelled with 2 N's. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like a food delivery service in the U.S. Schwann's
really
has
good
been
stuff
around forever.
They got some good stuff, or they used to anyway.
I still get them. They're a little expensive, but they're very convenient because they bring it right to your door. It's like the first choice of shut-ins. So they should just they want to brand themselves just shut-ins choice, because they'll bring it right to your house. So Schwann's used to have 2 N's, and now it has 1. So the Schwann's guy comes around, and I'm like, "Hey, man, didn't you guys used to have two ends?" And he told me the worker for Schwann's was like, when I was young, it had two ends, and then when I started working there, it had one. And I figured that maybe they just rebranded or changed the name. And I said, "Well, go ask people at your work what you think." And he said that some of them also remember two ends. But what he found the oddest thing was when people pay by check, they still spell it with two ends. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I have all these people that keep writing two ends on the check." And I'm like, "Why do you think that is?" And, he wouldn't go into it. But so the Schwann's guy, I'm actually trying to pick his brain. Here's the way this thing goes is it's like you can't tell them why you're asking, because then they'll put up like a mental block and stop. As soon as I said, "Yeah, it was Mandela Effect," you'll be like, "Oh, maybe it was just one end." So I just let them talk for a while and try to get it before I tell them why.
The Pentagon is one too. That one got me recently. There was in my reality, there was nobody that died in the Pentagon. I mean, I'm here in Pennsylvania. We definitely be in the tri-state area of being affected by that. And I was always saying, like, isn't it really weird that, this plane supposedly hit the Pentagon in the area that they were doing construction and nobody died? Oh, isn't that weird? That sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. But now it's 120 people. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Mike, what do you got on all this stuff? Do you have anything new that you've seen, or
some of those are American logos that I'm not familiar with. The Walmart one, I do remember the dash, the star. I guess you want to call it the sun, the last one. I remember that one being done a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's kind of the argument is I don't remember it. Well, Kate doesn't. I shouldn't say me. Kate doesn't remember it going all the way back to 2008. She thought it was just recent. So who knows? But I was curious to see what the feedback was on that. So if you're watching this and you want to comment and you know more about Walmart than me, please do.
Yeah, I don't shop there too much personally, but I do remember seeing all three of them. Just not sure exactly when they were coming out. Like I don't go to Walmart too often.
I got you.
Yeah,
all right.
Sorry on that one.
No. I appreciate it, but I just want to make sure that while we have you on. All right. Thank you, guys. That is the end of my slideshow that I built up over the month. So if you guys feel free to go back to talking about Bible changes or whatever you wanted to conspiracy talk or Illuminati, whatever you like. I'm going to take a back seat again for a minute. Uni, go ahead and take over for a bit, bud.
All right, buddy. Yeah. What do you got, Mike? You got anything else you've thought of lately tonight, or any research you've been doing you can bring up for us?
Yeah, actually, I want to bring up something. I sent in to both Unirock and Dr. Lupo's Discord. I sent in a code just for fun. It was a code, and the code, when you break it down, would say taxation is theft. I thought somebody actually created this. Captain Waffles, I want to give him a shout out because he figured it out in less than 5 minutes. He figured this out. I found out last night, though, that this code is actually Illuminati alphabet. And this shocked me. So I just wanted to bring it out there. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
You know what kills me about the Illuminati are the Illuminati cards, man. When I started getting into that whole thing and looking at them, they really blew me away. Like, I'm like, that's insane. Like, they are predicting things that haven't happened. Or how long? When did they come out? Was it the 70s or early 80s that those cards came out? Is that right?
I'm not
sure. I thought it was
90s. I can't remember.
Late 80s, 90s. Yeah, but I mean, they could have been out way earlier. But yeah, I think Steve Jackson Games did a game on that. But yeah, do you know anything about that, Mike? Because I actually have a bunch of those saved on my hard drive. I'll have to look and see if I have them.
Well, as far as I know, they're just predictions. Predictions that are yet to come true. I believe the next one the next big thing that's going to happen is the stock market is going to crash and put people into a panic. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the next card to be played.
Even if it's like a prediction and it's out there, then that just says that they can just follow along with that and try to make that kind of thing happen. You get what I'm saying? There's that whole thing where they could try to make that stuff happen, but
Yes.
you know, it's still a little odd. You know, I mean, Trump was on there. That was kind of crazy. Looks just like him.
Yeah. Princess Diana was on there too. Yeah.
Obama. There's another one.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. So I do believe these are maybe not even predictions, but maybe a warning, if you want to say. Again, the next one that I'm not 100% sure on this, but the next one I do believe is supposed to happen is the stock market crash. And yeah, that's as far as I know about those cards. I do know that some of them have came true and such.
Yeah, those are really weird.
That's been around. People have been saying that about the stock market for not really like a popular opinion, but more into the conspiracy circles. Now, not a lot of people have, but I have seen this come up.
Yeah, look at the Twin Towers there, Uni. Wow, look at those. I'm sorry, I'm checking out your screen.
You're fine. That's what it's there for. Yeah, that was always an interesting one. This was under terrorist nuke. That's what I always found weird about it. It's not really.
There? I'm trying to. I can't see that one. There was a car.
Oh yeah, right here. Let me see if I can get it up here. This one's under. Oop, I don't want to bring up that page. It's under car bomb.
Doesn't it
Never
look
seen
like
that one.
that kind of car? It looks like a either like an old like an IROC or an old Camaro, the 80s style Camaros with the back end like that. There's the Pentagon.
Yeah. I think these card games are significant. I've actually collected all these to make a video, but I've been putting it off. We keep picking other stuff before this one, but it's an interesting topic for sure, especially along this line of the Illuminati and such. But I don't know what to think about it, honestly. I don't know if they remade these. I don't know if they did. I don't think they did. It went out of print a while back, I believe.
I think you can still buy.
Oh, they went one for. I think a few of these are photoshopped. Okay, I was wondering what this was. So they have one for flat earthers right here.
Yes,
they were talking about that back in the early '90s. Okay, Mike. Well, let's see here. We talked about Bible changes.
I'm back. I do want to start
Doc.
steering this to Antarctica. Some people wanted to talk about Antarctica.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's dive into. Now, Unirocks, if you guys don't know, he has a channel which is linked below as well. That you guys have done a lot of stories on Antarctica. The more you do stuff about Antarctica, the faster. I just find Antarctica fascinating, like all the stuff that's going on there, all the shady history, the stuff that is covered up that you can't see from satellite, and so all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm going to turn this over to you for a little bit to talk about Antarctica, and then we'll start giving our 2 cents.
All right. Okay. Well, I found some weird new stuff. I actually just put out a video today on it, and I actually have another one that I'm putting out as soon as we're done with this show, because I found so much stuff I couldn't figure out how to get it together into one presentation. But one thing I've been looking at and wrapping my head around is why the North Pole is, and I hope one of you guys can give me a really good opinion on this, because I need more input. But yeah, the North Pole supposedly is a lot of ice all around right here, just like Antarctica should look. Okay, that's like on every globe, like on all the maps and everything. Even like I did have this interview with Admiral Byrd, who's the famous explorer who first in the 30s went into Antarctica and the North Pole and flew over it. And it's a huge giant ice sheet, you know, like they said that you could travel on a sled throughout this whole area. But the more I look at the North Pole, the more
the North Pole for me has always had ice on it. Where would Santa Claus live? Where would he live? I know Santa Claus isn't real, but just saying. You know,
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
like it makes no sense. It always was ice there.
Well, one of the things that
Yeah.
used to, I remember the most recent examples, besides all the numerous documentaries I watched as a kid about polar bears on the North Pole, and now it's gone, was watching this thing on Pawn Stars, which I know Pawn Stars is a fake program too. Pawn Stars on the quote History Channel, and they were showing these markers that they put at the North Pole that mark the true north. And what happens is every year it changes a couple feet, and they have to put a new marker, and it changes a couple feet, and they have to put a new marker. And it was on a sheet of ice. They were there, you know, they had pictures of these markers all lined up, and this guy was trying to sell one of his markers to Pawn Stars, and now like that doesn't exist. I don't know what happened to. If there's no ice up there, where the hell are these? Are they just floating in the ocean now? Like, where are these metal markers? So that would always bother me.
Yeah, I did.
That still bothers me.
I did a little research on that, you know, to try to find out what I was missing. And for all intensive purposes, supposedly the ice is still there. It's just not being shown on the globe. But I will say that there is no land. I mean, that's a fact about the North Pole. They've said for years, there's no land under the ice. But on the South Pole is a plateau that, you know, sits about, even at some places, 10 to 14,000 feet above sea level.
I think they just cover the whole thing with ice, and it's really not.
Well, I remember the North Pole being a sheet of ice that would change in size, and like they were trying to actually go under it with submarines and stuff to see what it was. But now, like you said on the maps, there's no ice; it's just water. So maybe the ice is there and it's not being on the map. And I'm surprised you don't have a bunch of flat Earth guys yelling at you right now. It's not a globe, but all right.
Yeah, definitely.
They always have to chime in. Come on, guys.
Doesn't matter either
just
way.
roll with us on this map. All right, go ahead.
I go as far as to assume that, well, for, you know, all intensive purposes, I assume globe. But I'm okay with accepting the flat Earth theory. I use it in my my research and what I predict and stuff too. So, you know, no disrespect to any flat Earther.
No, I love you.
It.
Yeah, I love you, flat Earthers, but I'm still gonna make fun of you guys just like everybody else.
Well, see, but they can make fun of you for just believing that it's a globe without you really knowing that it's a globe. So I mean, it goes both ways, right?
Right. I'm fair game for that too. You can call me a dirty globalist.
Sorry, I just
whatever.
throw my 2 cents in there.
No. I mean,
troublemaker I am.
The flat Earthers.
I'm a flat Earther.
Are you? Are you a trouble? You're not a troublemaker though, flat Earther.
No. I have a whole different side of it. Like I do keep it civil.
And I'm fine with that. I honestly don't have an opinion either way at this point, but I'm just teasing that the flat Earthers always get really aggressive in chat. That's all I'm teasing.
Oh yes, I've seen a lot of that. So I usually kind of stay away from the topic, but my opinion on it is, well, NASA, we know that the moon landing was fake. Then they came out saying we can't get past the Van Allen radiation belt. Well, they may call it the Van Allen radiation belt. I call it the firmament. They're not getting past that. My opinion. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my thought. Again, in my Bible, it says the earth is immovable. It doesn't move. It's not going nowhere. So that leads me to believe that the sun and the moon are rotating around Earth. And God created the heavens and the earth. So at the beginning, what's the earth spinning around? That just my thoughts, you know, just putting it out there. But I mean,
what do you think about? Sorry to interrupt you. What do you think about the plane routes? Because that's the biggest thing, like so far, is the plane routes. If they lay the planes on a flat surface, right? And you're a flat earther, so this would be excellent. I haven't got to ask anyone this. They show me, like, in so many videos that the planes fly, and they avoid certain spots on the globe. And there's no real excuse why, because it's a shorter distance if they wouldn't avoid it. And then they lay the earth flat, and then you look at the plane routes, and they look, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense for why. You know what? Do you get what I'm talking? Have you seen this before?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have.
What's the explanation behind that? What is that?
I guess the best way to explain it is they're cutting the curvature out. Like if you got the globe, they got to fly around up and down, as in just going straight across. It makes it faster to get to a destination. My theory is if the Earth is spinning one way and you go from point A to point B going against the direction of the Earth's spin, it will take, say, 9 hours. Now, if you're going with the spin, should it not be longer than 9 hours on the return trip? Or, sorry, faster if you're going with the direction of the spin. As you're spinning the Earth or the plane goes, it should be less. You should be using less time to travel in that direction. If you're going against the spin, it should take longer.
No, there's a lot of, if you go and actually check out the flights and do that stuff. Now, not that I believe either way, but I've dived into this a long time ago, and I thought these guys actually have really good, you know, theories about, and people need to stop like thinking they're crazy and just take a look. It's not that you need to believe it either way, but you can't argue with it or against it if you don't actually dive in and check it out.
Why the big cover up though? Like what? This is a massive amount of energy.
Well, I think because I mean, they started with that point. What's the point?
Yeah, the cover up would have to be with. You got to keep in mind they wanted you guys to believe they went to the moon. They've been sending out people in space. It had to do with the Russia and the American, the Cold War and all that before time, and with the space race. All this stuff, they've been trying to make people believe that they can do this stuff. Which, if you watch the video of the moon landing, they're actually in scuba uniforms, jumping around in water, all edited on the moon. So that's why they jump real slow like that. They're jumping in water, my friends.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I did a bunch of videos on space bubbles and all those things that you just said, but then I didn't realize that they were flat Earth videos or flat Earth topics. And I've said this before, but people still leave me comments every day and like, you know, about how I'm a flat earther because I did a space bubbles video, and I break out all evidence. So if I look at a video, I'm just going to take evidence out, write it down, and then analyze it. I'm not looking at preconceived titles for the stuff. So, you know, I think it's very plausible that the flat earthers could be right, but they haven't presented, just like the evidence you said about a plane flying. Well, the air is also, everything is spinning with the Earth. It's not just, you know, the plane wouldn't lose its traction with the Earth unless it was in space, I would believe, is why I feel that the planes are tied to the spin of the Earth. But, and that's the thing, every time there's a piece of evidence, it's all been 50-50 for me the whole time. I'd love to find that one piece though.
I think it's
going back to what the doc said about the reasoning, and I heard a great video on this, and this opinion resonates through the internet a lot, but it's about more than just covering up that the Earth is flat or that it's round. It's about a global deception to further a thought that to take people away from I don't want to say, I'm losing it because I don't want to say biblical or religion or anything like that, but that's probably where a lot of them go. They're trying to convince people in the science of it and lose the spirituality, and believing the Earth is round really helped that theory, supposedly. So,
well, the guy that put it into the schools to begin with had no factual basis to put round Earth in our school to teach to begin with. There was nothing that he had to base it on at the time that they did it. So I'm like, again, I'm not a flat earther, I'm not a round earther, but what I am saying is that there's controversy around both of them. And the fact that I really, in my own research, I don't think we've been to the moon. And not only that, NASA always happens to say, we can't get past the Van Allen radiation belt. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we go to the moon? Wait a minute. And you have how many of them saying this? So there's like, yeah, that's just like, you know, hours and hours of fun of talking right there, right?
It's true.
Yeah,
because I agree.
I was going to say, I was completely unprepared to go into this topic. We got to have Vegan Warrior if we're going to do this.
I need to talk to him about this. I really do.
One of these, you know, ever since I started the show, it's like since day one, people are like, talk about it. And I just have nothing to bring to the table. So I'll have to find a good panel that'll talk about it both ways. Because, you know, I was saying the big reason I never talked about it was because the people were so belligerent when they came in about it that it just turned me off to the whole thing. But if I have people that are civil and polite and want to talk about it and discuss detail, I'll listen.
Well, I think I think they're like that because they get so much opposition. Like the first time I brought it up to a friend of mine that maybe I might have just believed it a little bit. She's like, "You're crazy," and she's like a total conspiracy person, and I'm like, you know what? go watch this video. Come back and talk to me when you're done. She typed to me, OMG. That's all she typed.
That's how I was.
That's all she typed. She would not talk about it, but she just said, oh my God, that's it.
I'm going to step out for about 5 minutes. I just got to let my doggy out. I'll be right back.
Mike.
We will stop the show. Hey, mute out while you're gone.
Stop the show.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no problem. I love how like we all stop the show for pets.
Mine are all, look at this. Look at these two guys over here, just like just crashed out.
I'm going to cry now.
What?
My kitties are gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They both died.
What?
Yeah, both my cats disappeared about a month from each other, and they. Yeah.
Wait, you just had one on the show a minute, like not even.
Oh, that's
week
Gus
ago.
Gus. That's he's just a floater cat. He doesn't count. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's my old cat, Gus Gus.
Are you talking about the kittens
my
you
two
just
new
had?
cats.
I'm gonna spit that out.
Oh no, I've got a few kittens out there. I'm gonna keep two to replace my two cats that died, but the mother cat and her mom died just recently.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
They were young too, only a few years old.
Actually,
It's
that
okay,
just happened to a friend of mine. They I don't think the kitten was but 7 months old, and the kitten died. They have no idea why it died. It's just crazy.
Yeah, what do you guys feel about cats or animals in general? Do you think they are sentient souls that come in and inhabit them? Like I believe in reincarnation. So when you reincarnate as a cat, you're still the same kind of full soul. It's just all repressed to only experience world as a cat, and then you come out and you're like just one of us when we're out? Or do you think they're actually different kinds of souls, animal souls? Or I don't really know how it works.
Go there with me. I mean, because I get crazy with this one. I think they are souls, or they have souls, and I think that oh my gosh,
choose to come in as a cat and be like, okay, and then when you're done being a cat, you go back out and you're like, okay, I'm going to be a human now and whatever. I mean, is it the same thing, or are animals all kind of like, I don't want to say lesser souls, but not as sentient?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I have a weird theory, though. Okay, don't anyone please judge me. I swear, please.
I'm totally judging you. No,
this is the crazy side of me. It's so crazy that my children even think I'm crazy. When my daughter was 5, she thought I was absolutely nuts for saying this, but I mean this with 100%, and I'm usually really logical. I think cats can go inside people's dreams. I'm not even kidding. And I know that sounds nuts, but it's happened to me 100 times.
A lot of people feel that cats can live in both worlds because they can like see stuff that we can't.
Half in, half out, right?
Yeah, they can definitely. So they've been showing up in your dreams?
For my whole every time I have a cat, that specific cat does. And I know you dream about your animals sometimes, but it's just the weirdest thing. Like I don't know, man. And like when my cat
have a major connection to them, though, right? I mean, the ones that come in, right? So maybe and I personally, are you kidding me? This one here is awesome. She came to us, but Missy, I swear to God, when I'm emotionally upset, she's right there. She's like making sure I'm okay. So I have no doubt that I think certain ones are sent to you, right? Maybe to help you and stuff like that. And I don't think that's crazy at all.
Yeah.
So you're not crazy, Uni, even though I like to pick on you.
I'm kind of crazy.
No, it's okay. You're just kind of crazy.
That's right.
Yeah, I do believe that I feel they're all different souls just coming in and experiencing what it is to be a cat, and then when we come out, we're all the same things.
Yeah, we're slave to them, man.
But while they're in, they got magic cat powers for sure.
Yeah, right. Do my bidding while I lay on your lap. That's what they do to me. Take me outside.
I mean, they talk to us. They obviously know what's up because they speak to us all the time. My cat literally has these conversations with me. I don't know what he's saying, but he'll meow for 20 minutes and like he's talking to me. So, hey.
Well, like Kate can know when the cat's outside all the time. Like she'll go and open the door and there's a cat, and it'll be random times. It's not like he always comes in at 6 or something. So they she can hear him call in her head. And sometimes I can.
Okay, so I have like a couple weird stories about my Maine Coon. She is so weird. I swear to God, she understands English talk. like people speaking. So I was downstairs and Pat, Rich's mom, says, "Oh, it's so nice to see Missy down here. I never get to see her down here anymore. She's always upstairs with you guys." And so do you know that Missy stayed downstairs all day? She never does that. She comes back up with me usually. And then the one day I was like, "Oh, I miss you sleeping with me." That night she came down and slept with me and didn't anymore, you know? But it was specifically right after you said something. I had a person on the massage table and I had her outside and I have like a little gate so they can go up on the landing. And he goes, "Don't you worry about her jumping up on the railing." And I'm like, "Not till you just said that." And as soon as he said it, she was looking to jump up. And I'm like, okay, you can't say anything around this cat. That's, you know what I mean? Because she, for some reason, I know that it seems weird, but she understands.
Yeah, David Lee just posted in the comments, "Fun fact, cats don't meow at anything but humans." And,
Yeah, exactly. I should have stated that one too. That's great. Who said that?
David Lee.
David? Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Wow.
He used to go by David Lee Roth, but then that got confusing.
We had to make him change it.
Because there was that whole Van Halen thing, you know, who's better? You a Hagar
I don't
guy?
sing when he came in. I mean,
I am a Hagar guy.
You a Hagar? Hagar,
Well, not a guy, but I liked them both. I think they were both in their right times, right?
I'm waiting for a Mandela effect to happen with Van Halen. It's just a matter. I mean, how could it not?
Like they broke up with David Lee Roth and never got
right. Like there was never a Hagar or something.
Right? Could you
I'm
imagine?
searching this now. I want to see this.
It was like the one day we're talking about these Mandela
like
effects, and me and the
Hagar's
girls
doing
said,
jump.
"All right." And I was like, "Okay, let's just pull something out of the blue." And I said, "How about rainbow tarantulas?" Do you know we looked that up and it actually exists?
What?
I'm being
All
serious.
these rainbow
Check it out. Look it
animals.
up. It's insane.
Oh,
Rainbow
I have a Mandela
tarantulas.
Effect to ask
No,
you guys.
It wasn't just like a gay tarantula. It was a real rainbow tarantula.
It was. It was serious. Like it looked.
It wasn't
rainbow
a tarantula into gay rights. It was a real tarantula. All right.
That's awesome.
So I have a Mandela Effect to ask you guys. This involves with Happy Days. Now, many people, I'm sure you guys seen Happy Days.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm way too young to know about that. Not really.
You guys remember when the Fonz would comb his hair?
Hey.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
If you watch it again, he never combs his hair. He always said, he pulls out his comb and he says, "Why mess with perfection?"
Nuh-uh.
No
He
way.
never said
He
that.
pulled
I
out
would
his
freak
comb
out,
all
man.
the time.
He was always doing the whole like, yeah, because he had that's.
And he would do it. He would go back and forth. I think he was even in the opening credits. He would comb his hair and go, "Hey," like in the credits.
I'm looking this one up.
That's you can't mess with those old shows, man. That's just not even right.
I just don't even understand. Yeah, I mean, wow. And I wonder if they messed with Andy Griffith yet. That's one of my favorite.
So, Taryn, I totally was watching Twilight again. Okay,
What?
I'm telling you,
I can't get over that sentence. We just got to stop it right there.
Listen, I'm
That's
telling you.
one Mandela effect I'd be okay with. If
It
Twilight
makes me
just
so
never
mad.
happened.
They totally added a scene, and it's a funny scene, but they totally added a scene. And I watched it. I seen it again last night. I was just like falling asleep to something I knew, and I'm like, yeah, that scene is totally. So anybody, and I've talked to some people in Discord about it, so they were going to check it out. So they should. So be quiet, because I love vampires.
Glitter or.
It wasn't a glitter scene. Yeah, they threw some glitter in. They were like, yeah, that's what they were totally doing.
I thought that's all that. Apparently, vampires used to be all badass, but now all they do is glow and glitter.
You know what?
And
picking on me.
babies, complain about
I
babies.
love vampires. I just love the movies. Bram Stoker Dracula is my favorite. If that redeems me in any way.
That does bring you back a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, I found a really good
I'm still
Andy
a girl.
Griffith Mandela effect, actually. It seems really good, too. Andy Griffith Mandela effect. They use the word Amber Alert, you know, like when a child disappears. It's like a newer thing, an Amber Alert. And they use this in one of the episodes, and people are attributing it to the Mandela effect.
Why?
It's inside an Andy Griffith episode. I thought that was interesting.
Really? An Amber Alert? So there was a girl named Amber that Andy started all that?
I don't know if he started it or what happened, but it's a Mandela effect. They're saying, hey, this wasn't around back then, and now Andy's saying Amber Alert and stuff.
I didn't think the Amber Alert came up till what, the 90s,
80s, I thought. 70s,
80s, maybe late 80s. I don't think as far back as the 70s. Well, you look at the milk carton kind of things. So if if that was to be considered an Amber Alert, then yeah, probably way back when, because you get that milk carton and you see the person on it. They don't even do that anymore, I don't think, right? I don't have milk in a long time.
They probably have to pay a bunch of advertising if they want that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some sort of
Pay a bunch of
fees
money
involved.
to put some missing person on it. I mean, really?
Yeah,
you couldn't just be nice about that.
I wonder if America's Most Wanted got messed with. Yeah.
Well,
now I'm thinking of all these missing things.
Was it Ed McMahon with the Publishers Clearinghouse?
Yeah, that's right. That's really messed a lot of people up.
That one is.
There is so much residual evidence in that one. In tax paperwork, there's a lot of tax paperwork that says that he was working for Publishers Clearinghouse, even though we know he didn't officially. This is a weird one. That Mandela Effect is weird.
Yeah.
What a strange one.
Well, he used to go to people's houses. Come on now. You just wanted Ed McMahon to come to your house and give you money.
Well, this is why I feel like we slate realities, that it's not being done on purpose, because that's just too dumb and obscure to be like, let's just pull Ed McMahon. I mean, I feel like that's just
couldn't it
a
be an
different reality where it
accidental
didn't
change?
happen.
What if there's something we're doing and it's accidentally rippling reality? I've been saying this for a couple months now. When you spin a particle and for 8 months and it, if it's a real particle, not a light particle, and it goes faster, it loses time. It's an actual principle in physics. You spin one for 2 months and you smash them together. One has lost more time than another. Wouldn't that ripple time and make weird little things happen? Just a theory, but
yeah, maybe the people that are what they call ascension. Maybe that's part of all that, right? I mean, I was saying that the Schumann resonance, maybe that's a part of us shifting through reality, is that the Schumann resonance, we match up with it or something, and then it shifts us. I mean, it's another theory. I mean, who knows? I could be absolutely 100% wrong, but.
Well, and then a lot of ancient texts say that times will change, and we always attribute it to just that time around us, not time, but things around us will change and our ways will change. But we could just take it in the literal sense and think, hey, time's going to change, time itself or the way it works, or I'm getting too deep, I think.
Okay.
Too far off.
Well, sorry,
I started it. I go crazy.
I told you I'm the troublemaker of the group.
And I'm making up stuff right now about Soul Train changing stuff. So
That's
right. They're no longer sponsored by Afro Sheen. It's now Black and Beautiful. That's believable. Someone will watch Soul Train to find out. All right, let's get back to Antarctica, because somehow we went away when Mike went to deal with his dog. We just kind of started talking the camera wasn't on.
I've got crazy about Antarctica. Okay, right, so Admiral Byrd he talks very early on. Well, in the 50s, and I've got all this coming out soon. So if I say this wrong, it'll be corrected. But in 1930s, Germany, and I'm only bringing this up because it's factual. The Nazis went to Antarctica. They have a base there, and then it's right on the northern tip. It's actually a pretty big chunk. And then so that was in the 30s. So Byrd goes to Antarctica in around the between 32 and the 50s. I just got my time all messed up, but that's when Byrd's
40s, in, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Byrd's in from 30s to the 50s. The Nazis are around the same time. So the wars start. Well, Byrd goes on a television show, and I have the whole show, and I've taken segments out to kind of show everybody, and then I'm going to tell them about this. But I have a theory now that a lot of war and a lot of military operations are happening from Antarctica, because it does look like a strategic point in the world. You could fly any which way to go wherever you need to go. And then I didn't say this, though. Byrd does. Byrd says that there will be a contested battle or fight for Antarctica. He says this in 52. The treaty signed in maybe 10, 20 years later. They signed the Antarctic Treaty. Byrd said there'd be 7 to 10 nations are going to try to take claim of it. And then I've got all these old maps, and everybody knows about parts of Antarctica called Rockefeller Plateau. And there's other parts for all these different companies like Ford and different presidents and queens and kings. And it does almost seem like there's something in Antarctica that they're all going there for. And that and uranium, Bird says there's uranium in Antarctica, lots of it, and that we're going to want to get that in the future. And then we went there. So it's very strange. Maybe we are going there.
Didn't he also say that there are vast lands beyond Antarctica that we don't know about? Didn't he also say that in that interview?
I don't know if he said it in that interview that we did, or he said there is a very large chunk of land the size of the United States that no one has been to. And it is in Antarctica or somewhere. He may have said past Antarctica, but when I watched it today, that's what I heard. So, I mean, I had so much information taken in, though. But Antarctica is really, you know, it seems like it's starting wars, kind of. And I know that's crazy to say, but you've got like NATO and like a few extra countries down there working and saying no one else can come in. We're not going to let anybody else down here, country-wise. And then, you know, does that not say some weird stuff there? Mike, I'd like to know what he thinks too about it, about Antarctica, also real fast, if you have an opinion on it.
Okay, yes.
Quiet for a little bit.
Yeah, what I know about is that you're right. The Nazis did go down there, and what I read about, what they had a project there. They were actually building a UFO. They want to build this UFO during World War II to drop on New York City, a silent craft. That's as far as I read. I read this book called this. I'm going back to grade 8, grade 9. The Nazi Doctors, and they talked about building a spacecraft down there. That's as far as I know about them going out there, was to build this project.
Well, yeah, and they did find him in that Nazi control, the area the Nazis went to. They found a base and a lot of old relics from back then that were preserved because of the low temperatures. And we do know they were there. And like, we wouldn't know though. I don't think they'd tell us if they had any really good technology, but we know that they were looking for ancient things there. I think that's where the conspiracies come from, at least.
Well, I think it's weird that they all like signed a treaty with all these countries that didn't even get along at the time, and yet they could get along for this treaty. So what does that mean that they had there at that time? It just sends up a big red flag to me that says that there's something about Antarctica. And of course, when you search Google Earth for Antarctica, they got tons of places that are blurred out. Why do you need to, unless you're trying to hide something, that just makes a big bullseye right to that area. Like, you really want to look, because they're blurring it out.
Yeah.
You know,
almost the entirety of it is.
Well, then,
honestly,
you know, if you try to book anything down there, like you want to go and check out Antarctica, you got to have a lot of this.
Yeah, that's another huge part of the conspiracy. And we have like John Kerry was going down a lot. Obama went a lot. Trump's been there. Then if you go to other countries,
the Pope went down.
The Queen, the Prince, and then every country in the treaty sends these ambassadors. Why would anybody want to go down there other than maybe to sightsee for a little bit, just to say I went there? But
I'm not so sure that it's all covered in ice. I mean, that's just my own thought. I mean, I have no idea, no information to prove that either way, but I think there's way more to Antarctica than what meets the eye, for sure.
It's interesting that you've said that, because I found some really good information that says that major parts of Antarctica are actually deserts, but they are very cold. So they don't have any rainfall. They don't have any precipitation at all. Now, whether or not they're covered in snow, I'm not sure, but the data shows that they haven't had any new precipitation in so long. And maybe that is why we just see this big white sheet on satellite images.
You know what? I was thinking about this too. You might want to, as you're digging into Antarctica, you might also want to look at like weather patterns, because I do a lot of research on some weather patterns, and I noticed that around Antarctica,
oh my goodness, the winds are insane around that. So I don't know if there's something to be said about that whole thing too. I mean, I say circle, but maybe it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And they do, it would make sense because a lot of it is a plateau. A lot of it is very high above sea level compared to other countries. I mean, it does sit so high. Like if I was to imagine a lot of the other countries, let's say we lose a lot of ice and all the ice caps melt. Well, Antarctica is going to be the one place, at least by the mathematics that I've done, that would still be sitting above the water.
Yeah.
You know, before everywhere else goes under, other than maybe some mountain peaks and some higher places in certain countries. But does that mean anything? I don't know. Maybe they are building bases.
Have you ever seen that map, Uni, of okay, so it's a flat Earth map, okay, but it shows the center of us, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And then the extending outward, it shows all the continents that are beyond. It's an old map, I think, too, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've got a few. Let me see. Yeah, I do. Yeah, we've got maps. Some maps they say are recent, they're newer, and they've been made because they show from certain people who were given the option to travel past this first ring around our world. It's like, okay, so our world, there's what we're looking at, it's covered by a ring of ice. And then outside of that, there's like a bunch of other continents. And it's almost like we were shut off. I saw a whole video talking about how we're all shut off from the outside because
that's so
something.
Funny. I always say, Uni, that what if we were like Australia? What if our basis, like the little map that you just showed, you know, of all this, that we were brought here because we were the bad of the bad, because we were like Australian, they dumped us off here. The one behind, you just had it up, the one I was talking about.
Yep.
But
I'm saving it real quick.
I just think it's really interesting because, I mean, I think some of those maps, yeah, that one right behind you there, that one. That's a pretty cool map right there.
It's interesting.
It is very interesting. I'm not.
The only thing that bothers me, I hate doing this to Doc because he's sitting there like, damn it, they're going to go back to flat Earth again. I'm really not trying to. I'm not trying to go back to that.
Sorry. See, I told
I'm honestly just.
I'm the troublemaker of the group. Just steer it where it goes.
I don't want Doc to get mad. And well, yeah, and I'm not talking about the flat Earth as much.
No,
I mean, if there is, let's look at a globe. Let's look at a globe, and let's just say, like, you know, maybe we could, even if the globe is what we're looking at, then
well, this is still on
there
par.
Could be huge other mass.
It's still on par. So that map,
there's a huge Mandela effect.
There's the circle around the map, right? That you were talking about of Antarctica and that shelf that Admiral Byrd talks about. So see, I'm bringing it right back on topic. So
what's the name of that show? It was a show about kids that go to school in like the 80s or 60s or something. It was about kids that go to school in the 60s, and it was this show about what they get, like the high schoolers like whip the ninth graders. You know what I'm talking about? They use like a paddle on them. Somebody has to know the name of this show.
It's got
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, it's got Matthew McConaughey in it. Dazed and Confused. That's right.
Yeah.
It has
there's a globe in that one.
Yeah.
And people go crazy over this.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a huge Mandela effect.
It's got a landmass next to Australia, right? That's a really big
Australia.
landmass.
And then it's like I'm covering it up with my big head. There it is. And you can see it, but it's a huge landmass. They're saying it's not New Zealand, because New Zealand you can see is right over here on it. And some people are saying that this is a Mandela effect, and it's supposed to be a really big one. Now, you know, I don't do geography. Mandela effects. You'd probably be better to tell people about it than I would. But.
I mean, you know, it seems familiar to me for some reason. You know, I can't absolutely say 100%, but I know that Australia gets me, New Zealand gets me, and that is weird. Yeah, I see it there. Right at the bottom there. Good job. Look at you putting your finger right on it.
Wait, I go away and we're talking about flat Earth again? What the hell?
No, we're not. No, we're not. No.
I don't
Can't
know.
trust you guys.
It's around.
at all.
Look, it's around
I
Earth.
said that you'd say that when you came back.
No, I brought it right back
Okay.
around. Did you hear me bring it back around? I
No,
said
I'm
I was the
teasing.
troublemaker.
It was
and
Burma's
I brought
fault,
it back
Doc.
around.
Burma did it.
Oh, thanks, Uni. Uni throwing me right under the bus. I see how
I'm
you are,
just playing.
Uni.
I'm playing.
Never
I'm
coming on
playing.
your show again. Ever, ever.
Where did Mike go? All right.
I don't know. He didn't say anything.
Oh, you're showing the flat Earth Dazed and Confused Earth mass thing. Yeah, we've talked about
Round
that a few
Earth.
times.
Well, it's supposed to. Yeah, yeah, and this is related to Antarctica, kind of, because
I
people
do
are saying there's
remember-
another big mass.
I remember that mass, that, and I also remember Tanzania being like, sorry, not Tanzania, Tasmania. Tasmania being like where that spot was. Like Tasmania used to be right next to Australia, and it was a big island, and I don't know why I learned that as a kid, because the cartoons with the Tasmanian devil and all that, you're like, where's Tasmania? And I feel like that moved too, but it doesn't look like that now at all.
That's like Mongolia being as big as Mongolia is. Really?
Yeah.
That one's another
There
one.
was one that Shane from Unbiased and On the Fence, he does this like really awesome map and says that he saved it to his hard drive, and it's an art piece he's made for a year, and he always goes in and does a little more to it because it's such a big piece. And when he reopened it once, a lot of it was different. It was changed. Now he says it's like a Mandela effect to him. And it's a really awesome video if anybody hasn't seen it. But what I'm bringing it up for is there's a landmass there that is completely grayed out on Google Earth. Now, I know that's not good data or anything, but it's an island I'd never heard of, that he'd never heard of. A lot of my viewers are like, what is this? And it's, I don't even know the name of it because I never ever heard of it before. But there are a bunch of land masses coming up. And then Shane went in to show me all these. And he's like, yeah, look at all these islands. And I'm like, my heavens. So there's a lot of islands popping up that we never knew about, or that, like some people say, are changing.
Yeah, this one, I want to point this out. My dad, so I was doing this, I don't know if you guys, for people that don't watch my channel, I've been documenting my dad's life over a year of just like, doing interviews with him, because he's getting of age, and it's something I know I'm going to want in the future. And for the family history. And one of the things he was talking about was the microbus we had as a kid. So I had him dig up a picture, and there it is, right? And do you notice it's the new emblem? I'm like, what? This is a picture from 1967.
No kidding.
And I was like, Dad, that's not right. He's like, yeah, that doesn't look like that. So I thought that was a really unusual shot.
What did he say?
You resemble your father, by the way.
What? Well, that's
Yeah.
good. My dad's cool. That's
Yeah,
fine with
especially,
me.
yeah.
Did he say it was Mandela?
No,
Did you
I
use the word
haven't.
Mandela?
I haven't. I
Okay.
originally asked him about Volkswagen, and he says he did not remember it being split. He thought it was connected. So that old picture really trips me out that it would have been changed.
Oh, maybe that's a
Yeah.
residual that it has been changed from back that long ago.
I mean,
maybe,
that's
or something.
67
That's
is when that
crazy.
shot was. Yeah, I messed up. Microbus. What happened to Mike? Did my main
I don't
interview
know. He didn't say.
Oh, I'm
he's
still
there.
here. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no. I thought you guys ran him off because we were talking about cats, and he's a dog guy.
No, I used to have a lovely cat. My kids named him Scrat after Ice Age.
Scrat the cat.
Scrat.
Yeah, he was such a lovely cat, but eventually we had to get rid of him because we moved in an apartment that did not allow pets. And while we moved into this place, we were allowed to have pets again, and we decided on a dog this time.
Well, good. I like cats and dogs. They're all cool. I even had birds. Birds are cool too. I wonder if there's any bird Mandela effects. I know there's some new birds. I wonder what's up with that.
It's called a mandanimal, I think.
Yeah,
And that
Mandela.
big, huge chicken.
Which
that's
sounds like
4 feet.
The
tall.
Mandanimal sounds like a wrestler from the 80s. Like, welcome to the ring, Mandanimal. Mandanimal, take the ring. I'm gonna come
versus
for you,
Script the
yeah.
cat.
Brother. I'm gonna
Versus
bring some
Scrat
man
Cat.
along.
That sounded very like Hulk.
All I do is Macho Man. Macho Man's my
Macho Man Randy Savage, right?
brother.
The warrior.
Elizabeth. He's always looking for Elizabeth.
Now, see, now that would be a good one to go back and see if any of that has changed. How many people actually check out that
Oh
kind of
yeah, we should get some wrestling fans in here. I bet some of the wrestling stuff's changed.
Ooh,
What if
I
there's,
do
like,
have one.
wrestlers who vanished.
I
you
do have one. Yeah. I was watching some old wrestling, and I came across that one of them just passed away. George the Animal Steel. Now,
He died.
I remember
his.
his
Saw it a long time ago.
No, it was just recently. And his last name was spelled Steel, just like Steel. Well, now there's an extra E at the end of his name.
Oh wow, Steel.
I thought.
Yeah,
No, I
And
thought
he-
he died a long time ago.
Me too.
Maybe I'm mixing him up with another wrestler. I don't know. They all
I
die.
know
young.
Owen Hart died.
There's a lot of
Yeah, that was not good. how he
No, that
went
was
out.
really bad. Yeah,
I wonder if that's still the
what
same.
was his wrestling.
I wonder.
Oh, Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Yeah. I don't know what happened to Snips Fly.
so
Oh.
George Steel, he died on February 16th of this year.
That one weirds me out. That weirds me out
Yeah.
a little bit because I
can't remember.
was gonna say I remember him not.
Vegan saying something about Superfly Snuka. Are you saying that Supa's spelled different? Vegan, it's now SUPA, and it was Superfly. I don't remember how he spelled his name, honestly.
I think it was Superfly, wasn't it?
Well, Superfly was hip in the 70s. It was, but I don't know if it was Super. I don't know enough about wrestling. Oh, you mean he's dead? He's dead now, yeah.
Oh, huh.
Ultimate Warrior.
That one I didn't know.
All right, I don't know. I'm gonna throw this out there for the wrestling people in the comments. Did Ultimate Warrior die, and then they replaced him with a lookalike in the ring?
His brother. It was his brother. His brother.
So that did
ex-wrestling
legitimately
fan
happen.
here, but yeah, it was, and I think
as a kid.
I think they were like twins or something, weren't they? Or they looked
If-
so similar.
Great.
Yeah.
If you look this up, they will always say there's one Ultimate Warrior. And I used to watch wrestling. Okay, I grew up with. I have 9 brothers. So we used to watch wrestling all the time. And I grew up watching this. And Ultimate Warrior, I swear there was 2 of them. One of them lasted for approximately about a year, maybe a little longer. He left the wrestling business, returned, and this one he looked completely different. But if you try to search this up, they swear it was only one guy that played the Ultimate Warrior.
I'll have to ask. I'm friends with Kane. I should get him as an interview sometime. Kane, which is Glenn Jacobs is his real name. I'll have to bring him on the show sometime if I can talk him into it and see if he'll answer these questions. I've never asked about the Mandela Effect. I wonder if he's got an opinion. So I'll see if I bring him in.
I was too nervous.
He's a very well smart guy. Kane.
Oh, Kane's super smart. The reason I know him is because of libertarian circles. He used to do a podcast called Citizen X that was and he liked my show back when I was doing libertarian stuff, so we became friends. And he'd take me out when we went to dinner in Savannah, and it was really interesting because we would walk around, and if you guys don't know, Kane's a wrestler. He's gigantic and he wears a mask, and people would recognize him without the mask. Like, we went out and people lost their mind, like, while we were eating dinner. It's really weird to walk around with,
As far as I know, he's very well educated too.
Oh, he's super smart. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's very intellectual, and I probably could get him in the. I'll have to talk to him. I forgot, man. I'll text him and see if he wants to come on. But usually he wants to talk about liberty stuff. I don't know if he has an opinion on Mandela stuff. I'll have to find out. Yeah, anyway, so there's our wrestling bit. I don't know how we got over there, but we did.
You know how we get anywhere on the show. Just kind of takes us there.
Yeah, we never even got close to finishing Antarctica, I don't think.
Nope.
I'm still not feeling very good, so I'm probably gonna end the show soon, and we'll just bring it over to Discord.
That's
It'll be
fine,
an
Doc.
early show tonight. But let's talk about Saturday, because I'm curious if Saturday is if you guys want to do something. I'm thinking about maybe doing like open lines kind of thing, where a couple of us just get in and there's absolutely no topics. We just kind of
That'd be
whatever people
fun.
ask questions about.
That
and
would be fun.
we just sit around and BS, and it's totally casual. So,
That'd be great.
we'll get in
I'm
there
into
and
that.
Casual
talk about
Saturday.
Burma's
want me on.
cats.
Yeah.
If
Hey.
you're
Yeah,
open
that'd
to
be a good
cats.
show. That'd be a
Yeah.
good show.
If you guys want to, I mean, that's pretty much what we're doing right now.
I'm not talking about my cats right
we're
now.
trying to talk about topics, but I'm going to throw out topics and see what happens. Let's do questions.
If you're asking us to stay on topic, you know that's a lot to ask of us.
No. I don't expect you guys to do that. That's too much for anyone. As soon as I started, I was just trying to get through all those pictures, and I couldn't even keep you on for like 5 minutes to go to pictures. We started going off somewhere. All right.
Can I just can
yeah,
I
Mike,
make
we
one
got some
call out
time.
here?
We got some
I
time.
see
Go ahead,
that
buddy.
I see Charlene's in the chat, so I would like to say happy birthday.
Happy
Oh,
birthday!
Yes, happy birthday, Charlene.
That is our first shout out we've ever had off the show. Shout out! Woo! I want to
Well,
start
I
out
know-
with my
show and
I know
Casey
she's always
Kasem.
You're
yeah,
aging
she's always
yourself.
watching your show and Uni Rock show. So, I'm friends with her too. I talk to her, so I definitely want to wish her a happy birthday.
Mm.
Oh, that's very nice, and we'll have to start adding that, because I was thinking, like, you remember the old, I don't know if people still do this because I barely listen to radio shows, but they were so hurting for ratings when I was going to college in the 90s that they just literally had stations where people called in nonstop, was like, hey, I want to shout out to my friends and happy birthday to my aunt Twyla and Tila and Jermaine and Jwele, and they would like just go on with this huge list of names. And that was like what happened to the radio station. It just became a giant call out thing. Like and I guess it worked because they got ratings. Everybody knew they could get on and say happy birthday to whoever.
Philly stations used to do that back in the 90s.
Yeah, it was a thing I think in the 90s to just let it
Clear
go.
channel.
Yeah, my local radio still does that. The shout outs. I like to dedicate this song to,
Oh, and do you remember the people would write in letters to Casey Kasem, and he would like do these whole backstories about some dog dying or something, and then they would somehow work it in with the top 10. It would always be like, well, this song's for you, and it would have like nothing to do with the letter. Like, I'm sorry, your cat died. Here's Achy Breaky Heart. Oh man, Casey.
We need to play that for poor Oni. We need to play Breaking Heart for you.
Some clips. There is some funny Casey Kasem clips where he loses his mind over something goes wrong. There's always some great.
Well, when he did the New Year's Eve after he had his stroke. Did you see that?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh my goodness, that poor man was trying to talk and he couldn't even talk right.
That's
That was
sad.
so
I always
sad.
liked. Because do you know he was all right, I'll give you a quiz. What famous cartoon character did he voice?
I'm trying to think of one that sounds like him.
He's everybody's favorite stoner.
Oh,
Come on, somebody in the chat.
Beavis and Butthead? I don't know.
Shaggy.
Well done. You probably looked it up. It was Shaggy from
No,
Scooby-Doo.
I didn't look it up.
Was it really? I didn't know that.
As soon as you said everybody's favorite
He
stoner,
did all of Shaggy?
Yeah, he did Shaggy
Wow.
up. He even did him for some of the movies, I think.
yeah, as soon as you said everybody's favorite stoner, I knew who you're talking about. He always has the munchies. And he's the only character that could talk to Scooby.
Yeah, talk to the dog. And
I never
wanna
even put
know-
those two and two together ever.
Yeah, well, he always is doing Scooby snacks. What exactly is a Scooby snack? And after he takes them, he can talk to the dog. So
I just thought it was normal. What does that say about me? I was weird from the get-go.
oh my god, this is pretty much what Saturday's show will be. Probably us talking about Scooby-Doo. All right, Mike, I'm going to give you the last segments. If there's anything else you'd like to discuss, since I don't mean to cut you short, but I'm just not up for going 3 hours tonight.
Oh, don't feel bad. You know, we all end up under the weather. But you know what? I'm not sure how else to finish this, but it's saying thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, of course, man. I mean, is there any other topics you wanted to hit? Because we still got a little time. I mean, if there's something I didn't get to that you wanted to discuss. And also, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say at the time I have nothing else to touch up on right now.
Okay, we'll work back around to you at the end here. Guys, don't forget, Mike also has a channel. You'll see the link in the description. I don't know if one of you mods can drop his link or not. I can't really copy it while I'm doing this. So, yeah, Mike has a channel. You can also hear him go play. Sometimes you should jump in the music room in the Afterglow chat and play your guitar in there. We had a couple guitar players in there.
Oh, I try, but I'm like,
Rock.
boom.
Yeah, that's right. All three of you guys play guitar. I'm the only non-guitarist.
We didn't say I play yet, but
starting.
We're getting there.
You own a guitar, yes?
Yes. Oh, I own two.
And you strum it.
I do.
Therefore, you're trying to play.
I am trying to play. I had my first lesson two weeks ago, so I'm getting there. So
Tony,
go ahead.
You got any advice for her?
Oh man, I give lessons if you want to play through Hangouts sometimes. I'll show you some stuff.
No, that would be awesome.
I'll give you a free lesson. I can do that.
Oh,
for real? Do you give lessons?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, I do. I have all my ever since I started playing for 5 years or so.
I will come back on your show again then. Okay, you're back in my good graces.
All right.
Yay.
Thank you, Uni. That's very nice of you.
All right. Let's see what's coming up this week. We've got, I believe everything's set up for Tuesday. I still haven't pulled the trigger completely, but I think Tuesday I will have a unschooling, homeschooling panel on that will talk about peaceful parenting. So say you want to raise your kid outside the system. How's it done? How do you raise your kid without violence? We're going to address those issues in real life. I've also got, let's see. Dana's going to be coming back on for another psychic readings Tuesday.
Do you need somebody for that?
Well, she knows you. That wouldn't be fair.
Well, no, not really, because I haven't told her everything about me, and last time I wasn't able to come on. So
we'll ask, because I try to pick people she doesn't know so I can stump her a little bit and see if make it harder on her. And then we'll see. And then we got someone coming on from the Dolores Cannon camp on the 8th, which is someone that does well, I don't know if she's technically affiliated with Dolores Cannon, but she's a QHHT, the hypnosis that Dolores does. I forgot what it's called. The quantum stuff. She's like the highest level there is on that, and one of the last people on Earth who was actually trained by Dolores herself at a level 3. So she knows a lot about Dolores Cannon. So we're going to be talking about that.
That's going to be awesome.
And we've got a few other things coming down the road. So hopefully you guys will stick with the channel, and you know, just like even though I wasn't feeling good, the show must go on. And my lucky, I've got good friends that'll come on and carry the weight and carry the show for me. I appreciate that, Uni and Burma. Thanks, guys.
Anytime, buddy.
Keeping the thing alive here.
Well, we hope you feel better.
I know. I just
show on the flow.
Well, is it cold or something?
No, gut. It's all gut. So
I had it yesterday. I didn't even do videos Sunday because I couldn't do it. I was so sick.
I mean, I was like, how am I going to host something?
Wednesday, I'm sorry.
So I have to say something. Like today, I'm like massaging, and I had like a migraine all day, and my poor clients kept looking at me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. My stomach was like making the worst sounds ever, and that's not good during a massage. They're like, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't control it. They were just like gurgling in the whole 9 yards. It was terrible.
That's right. It's just persistence that got me through. It's much like my high school dating years. You just got to keep trying, and you'll eventually get there at the end of the. Guys, don't give up. You can get the show done, and then let's see what else we got. Other things. Oh, I got to thank all the people that donated tonight. So big love to you guys. You still even donated for such a short show, and it's much appreciated. And I mean, most of these guys are regulars. I love them. Banjojo was just donating to keep us from talking about flat Earth. It sounds like he was like, hey, it's gonna be a distraction. Michelle sent me some love. She sends me love every
Don't
week.
get mad at
Huh? I was on. Now you know
the
we're gonna do.
Banjo is a she. She always corrects me.
Oh, I forget
Sorry.
about that. I always think it's a guy too. The name is not. It's so androgynous.
I
Sorry,
do that. I do that.
Banjo. Yeah, because Joe could be a woman. JoJo, like Facts of Life Joe. I got you. All right, and then which was probably the coolest Facts of Life character. Hey, is there a Facts of Life Mandela Effect? I don't know.
I don't know. That'd be a good one to check out.
I don't know about that one, but I do have one that I just thought of. I'm pretty sure you guys touched it up before. But I Love Lucy, where Ricky Ricardo used to say, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do."
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah, he used to say that.
And
Almost every episode,
yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it was many. It's many. So I actually have one, if you want to call it a residual. I'm a huge fan of that 70s show. Now, in that 70s show, it is season 3, episode 21. They get Fez to play Ricky Ricardo. And at the very end of the episode, like where it's closing the credits, look at Donna, and Donna plays Lucy. And he says that, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do." So I don't know. I thought that was pretty neat how the writers Terry and Bonnie Tyler remember it this way.
Yeah. Well, this stuff has residual. It just goes to show. Because why would they do it the wrong way? Why would any of them do it the wrong way? If you are going to, like Star Wars or any of those shows, right? If you're going to, Doc, are you okay?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm just pushing through. Keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna blot out for a sec. You guys keep going.
Okay, so if you're gonna like, do like Star Wars or any of these really hit shows and do these like, your things. Oh my God, I can't talk tonight. I feel like so. So why would you get it wrong? If you love these shows, why would you be a producer of a show that's getting it wrong? That's what I'm trying to say. So the residuals show everything. Did I say that right?
That was deep.
That was deep in a way because I'm totally like couldn't talk.
Okay. There's a question for Mike in here from Cynthia, and I know I shouldn't bring this up this close to the close, but I'm gonna ask. Please ask the flat Earth guy, why is it hot on the equator? So is the sun shaped like a donut? How does he explain this? Thanks. So there you go. You go ahead and talk about that while I head out for a minute. You guys keep it going. So if you want to talk, tackle that, have fun.
I know that one too, but I want to hear what Mike says.
Mike.
I'll say what I heard while we wait on Mike to come back. I am not a flat earther. I'm a globe guy, but I'm open to hearing about it, and I'd love to test theories. I always put that disclaimer out. I'm sorry, but I've heard that they explain it because the sun goes in a circle like this, and they say that the flat Earth is laid flat, and the equator actually goes in a circle in the flat Earth. I don't know what to call it, flat Earth world. And that's how they explain that, actually. At least that's how I've heard them explain it. So the sun's still right above the equator there, just like normal, but it's going in a circle like this.
Right. Well,
anyone else have a...
I'm not either. He just dropped out, by the way. Mike just dropped out.
Okay, so I've got something too since the doc's sitting there. I want to thank Jen in Modesto, California, because while we were talking, she emailed me this, and she wanted to add this to the thing Doc showed, the picture, because she was driving, and I think saw this while she was driving in Modesto, took a picture and emailed it to me to add it to the picture of
I'm so
Doc's.
Sorry.
That's cool.
I just got scared. No, thunder. Scared me. I'm so sorry, Uni.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I could hear you. Oh, good. No, Could everyone else hear me okay? No, Jen sent this to us. It's just a picture of a VW thing that she took a picture of while we were having our show and heard us talk about this earlier. So
Thank you for
I thought I'd
sharing
show
that.
it for her.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing that because that's exactly the way I remember it.
Yeah,
You're
she
easy.
took that picture straight away like an hour ago from the road. Okay, so is Mike and Doc gone? I think they're both.
I think Mike came back, although he
They're
looks
both out.
muted right now.
That's okay. I wanted to thank everybody though for coming too and talking, asking us questions and doing all that. And I want to tell Shar happy birthday also. I don't know if I got to say that earlier. We're going to do a live show after this and play happy birthday for Shar. So hopefully Shar will make it to that. And any of Shar's friends can come too. That'll be fun.
I'm not coming. No, I'm just joking.
So we do our shows kind of late sometimes. We really do.
Yeah. Sometimes
I
I
don't blame
can't hang out like the big dogs.
We go from
that
like
late.
for 2:30 a.m. till 7 a.m. Who knows? We may do that. Who knows?
You are just.
But yeah, so I'm crazy.
I know. Did you happen to see? Did your woman tell you? I did my first video, but it was only like pictures and music.
Oh yeah, that was cool. You did great. I loved the song. I thought it was cool. I love that thing.
Yeah, I had like a nice
I
little
was gonna
chat
ask
in
you
the beginning.
the next time I saw you about your video.
Yeah, I had like a nice like thing and thanking everybody and like people that are like pushing, because we all have that, people that help us to like get out there, right? And I had like a nice little thank you for you and the doc and a couple other people, and then my voice wasn't matching up with my sound, and I'm like, nope, nix, and I just kind of pushed all the photos together, put music with it, and just said, here it is, because I've been talking about it forever. It's pouring outside.
You'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, it'll take some time. The editing was crazy.
Video editing is, that's hard. It really is.
Tough, man.
It's an art form. So you'll get the hang of it.
I can tell why they go to school for it. Yeah, I'm going to.
Oh yeah.
Burma, I didn't know if you wanted me to tell people your channel's public or not, so I wasn't.
No, that's fine. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me as long as they keep their hands off my pictures. That's all. No taking my photographs.
Do it, Doc.
Oh,
look at that VW logo he has.
Isn't that cool?
Where'd you find that puppy?
Yeah, that's sent from Jen and Modesto. It was sent to us it was taken during this show in Modesto, California, and sent to my email by a viewer that was watching us.
That's really cool.
Move your head out of the way,
While she was sitting at a stoplight. She just
move your head out of the way.
Yeah, it's
he's all demanding.
She sent me several, but this is the only one that came through. So
wow,
that's really cool, though.
It's pretty cool. Thank you, Jen in Modesto, California. We love you. Viewer submissions.
Yeah, we love viewers. I keep trying to leave, but you guys won't even let me leave, and I never even.
No, I wondered where you went.
Well, I never finished my super chat. We got interrupted when we started talking about Banjojo. So thank you for the donation, and Michelle donates every week. I really appreciate that. Michelle donates enough that it literally pays for my internet. Thank you. So that's awesome. And I don't know how to say Zon Errand. It's new. They appreciate your donation. Thanks so much. Jamie, very nice of you. Karen, every week you give me some love, and same with Feminine and Foxtrot. Oh, look at that. All right, so I want to make sure you guys got shouts out for keeping this show going. Like we said, we're going to have a talk about this, because should we move over to Twitch or not? I'm wondering, because YouTube's kind of been not so good to us lately. So I'm wondering.
I got a secret for you.
If I should try it.
You could stream to both at the same time with an app that I have, or an application I have that I can send you.
I think a lot of dudes stream both. So what I'm saying is, would it be worth trying to develop a Twitch audience over there, or are they all like 15-year-old trolls? I don't know.
I've heard they are.
So I'm not sure that's the right audience for us, because I'm more of a chill, older audience. But
what are you trying to say?
That I'm making jokes about Soul Train. Do you really think people that are 15 over there going to understand?
Well, they totally understand what Soul Train is. Come on.
My guts doing the rerun dance. You think they're going to get that joke?
I think it's funny.
It's pop and lock, man. Uh, Popping and locking. Oh, that hurt. I shouldn't have danced.
Oh,
Hey, Mike's back. Do you see he came back?
yeah,
He
Can you
couldn't
guys hear me? My
can-
mic went out.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
wait.
All right. Yeah.
Hi,
Sorry.
Mike.
I see somebody in the chat said I missed a question. I'm not sure what question they were asking.
Yeah, ask
Michelle.
again.
Yeah, Michelle McIntosh.
She says, don't go to another site, please. I would still, I mean, I put so much work here on YouTube, it would be hard to leave. I mean, we've got almost, what, 45,000 subscribers. But I don't know if, you know, I'm wondering eventually when the next move over is, because there's nothing as good as YouTube. YouTube rocks at giving you control. They do a lot of stuff right, but it's been kind of sucking for making a living at it. So I am definitely going to start looking at other platforms. We'll have to see until YouTube comes back to life. I don't know, Mike. Have you ever streamed anywhere else?
No, to be honest with you, I just learned about the Mandela Effect, like what it was. I was affected in probably 2014. In about 2016 December, around Christmas time, I learned about the Mandela Effect, and I actually found your group and kind of been following you. And I started up my own YouTube channel after that. I used YouTube just strictly for listening to music before that.
Well, give them some love, guys, if you like music too. Actually, your stuff's pretty good. I went and listened to one of your songs. I wish I could write music, man. I want to learn how to write music. Before I die, I'm going to write one song because I want to see if I can do it. Just, I have no idea how to write a song. It looks so difficult.
It is hard. I've been trying to write for 20 freaking years, and I still don't come up with a dang song.
Yeah, because everything's going to sound like everything else. It's going to be hard to find your own.
Well, I think the music might be a little bit easier than the actual lyrics.
That's what I was going to say. If you listen to my lyrics, like, again, I was affected by the Mandela Effect in 2014. I have 4 original songs that I wrote. And these songs, like, I was in a kind of a depressed stage at this time. I didn't know what was going on. But learning after and figuring out what was going on, it kind of changed me. But the 4 original songs, you could see, if you listen to the music, you'll see at the place I was at.
We all go there, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all go through that. And it's always nice when you do find a group that you can be around, because some of us, when we first started, there was not a whole lot of people that were around at the time. So you're like trying to go through this by yourself. So it's really nice to have a community to hook up with.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it definitely was.
I'm glad you're hanging out more in the Afterglow. If you guys that don't know, if you're new, we have a chat we go to after this. If you're interested in coming to the chat and hanging out with us, there'll be anywhere from 20 to 50 people, where we all kind of are in a voice chat and a text chat at the same time. In case you're not very voicey, you can come in and be shy if you want and hang out in the text area. We encourage you, especially if you feel like, oh man, nobody wants to talk about this. All my friends and family think I'm nuts. You can come over to our chat area, and nobody will think you're nuts, and they will be polite and nice to you. And you can also meet a lot of cool folks. I've made a lot of great friends over the last few months. So if you want to go into that, I guess I need to drop a link since I don't have the mods doing it. Let me do it. I'm going to drop it into the chat. This will be good for about a half hour. After that, it disappears. If you don't know how to use this, it's an app. It'll load up. And here we go. I'm dropping it in there. You can come on in, and I see a couple people say, you know, they're interested. They're new listeners, I guess. Come on into that, and you can come chat with us, and we'll help you get started and set up and get your microphone working and all that stuff. Just takes a little bit to figure it out. All right. Is there any last bits of business? Oh, thank you for my mods. Thanks, Melanie, for stepping up and posting some stuff. And I saw Captain Waffles in here for a split second, and he disappeared. I don't know who else was modding. Let's see. If I did not call your name, was Listen here tonight? I don't know. I think she might have been. You guys are like, again, much like the girls I dated in high school, you just come and go really quickly, and that's it. You're just gone like ghosts. That sounds a lot more sexual than I meant it to be. Yeah, I was like, wait a sec. Anyway, let's back that up. It's a family show. Let's
Or it was.
Oh, no, Mike said his kids watch this. Oh, by the way, Mike, we need to give a shout out to your daughter who's watching if she's still awake.
Yeah, my kids, Michael and Shaylin.
Michael and Shaylin. Hi.
Guys.
Hey,
Everybody say
guys.
hi to Michael and Shaylin. You guys are now famous. So if anyone asks you, be like,
That's
I was
right.
on the YouTubes. You can let us know when they have a birthday. We'll give them a special birthday shout out. Heather
All right.
keeps telling me one of her kid drew a picture of the cat, and I keep telling her to send it because I want to be like those Mystery Science Theater 3000 where they show the picture of the cats. And the robots. I mean, jeez, that's dating me there. Mystery Science Theater 3000 back in the 90s, which is now revived on YouTube, by the way. They have. I don't know if I like the new one. I haven't decided, but they'd always get like because adults would watch it. Everybody would get drunk and watch these things, and what happened was all these little kids started becoming fans of the show, even though I'm sure they didn't catch half the jokes. And they started these like 5-year-olds would draw pictures of the robots and send them in. So I'm hoping to have my own army of 5 and 7-year-olds with drawings of my cat. I can't wait. There you go. So if your kid wants to draw the cat, I'll give him a shout out. Cool cat. Or any other cat. I guess you could have Gus on here too. He's now been on the show a bunch. And what is the names of your cats, Burma? I forgot.
Raven and Missy.
Yeah. So any of these cats will do.
Any of these cats will do. You can put a nice little triangle in this poor little girl because she's still trying to grow her hair back there on both
Aw.
sides. It's getting there. Getting there.
Danny, thanks for the last minute donation. It's much appreciated. Thanks so much. Any other comments? Because I was trying to wind this up for a half hour and you guys just keep going. And this is typical. Like, we'll have shows that are like 4 hours. I'm like, I'm going to end them. And we'll go to 5 hours trying to end a damn show. And then like Vegan will start arguing with someone and then it'll start.
Like our health talk?
Yeah, like our health talk.
It was supposed to be an hour. It was like 4.5 hours.
Our arthritis talk. Yeah, we got arthritis talk. If you guys don't know, I have a variety channel. So if you go surf through my channel, you'll see all kinds of stuff. It's not all Mandela stuff. I've never been just like a Mandela channel. In fact, I'm going to start doing some more stories soon about gardening and some stuff now that spring's going on. So I'll be diversifying a little bit why that's happening. And so if you want to go back and look at some of the backstories on my channel, you'll see some stuff you're probably interested in. They're not always.
About Burma's really nice. Yeah, it's not about me.
Everybody doesn't think so. Yeah, I went to Burma.
That was a nice one.
Burma was
nice.
cool, man. If you guys get a chance to go somewhere, it is very cool. There's temples everywhere.
I want so bad. I want to go there just because my name's Burma.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
You got to get a picture in front of it.
I know. Like Burma in Burma. Look at this.
It'll rip a hole in space time.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll send out my own Mandela Effect stuff.
All right. I don't even know what to say anymore. All right, that's about it. So go check out my other stuff in my back catalog. That's what those rappers say, right? They're like, check out my back catalog. And
I don't know if that's what they're talking about or not.
I mean, I know most of my rap knowledge by watching the Boondocks. That's how I learned everything.
I love that
It's a good show. Yeah, Boondocks was a great show. Everything on Adult Swim's funny, man. I don't know. Those guys are hilarious. Anyway, that's about it. I'm done. We're going over to the chat. If you want to go there, I'm going to post it right now. We will be happy to see you over there. Oh, Melanie just posted it for us. Thank you. I'm going to go get sick and then I'll come back. So I'll see you over in the other chat. Mike, do you have any last words since you're the guest of the hour?
No, I would just again like to thank everybody for coming on out, watching this, and being on here. Burma, Uni, And thank you again, Doc, for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being
Yeah,
on, dude.
lots of love. Oh, Karen says plug Amazon. You're right. Thank you. I try to do that every show. To make up the difference, if you guys don't know, YouTube killed what we make. I literally make a third of what I did 2 months ago. Imagine if your income went down to a third. Yeah. So to make up the difference, I have been doing the Amazon affiliate program. And what that means is if you're going to buy something on Amazon, if you go in through my links below, Amazon gives me a little piece of what you buy. It's just like 3 or 4%. It's not a lot, but a lot of people are buying stuff, which I really appreciate. And it doesn't cost you any extra money. It doesn't do anything different for your end. It's just one little extra step. You have to click my link. It'll take you to like one of my books. And then when you get there, you just start surfing around and buying stuff. You don't have to buy my book or anything. And then what that does is Amazon, as long as you do it within 24 hours and close the sale, they give me a little piece. And it has made a huge difference. It's starting to work. It's making up the difference. So please, 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 if you go into shop on Amazon this week, go to my link first. Don't go to Amazon and shop and then go back out and go to my link and go back in. It doesn't work. You got to go through my link first. All right. Thank you for reminding me, Karen. I appreciate that so much. Uni, you want any last words? And then I'll jump over to Burma. I don't think I've ever let Burma go last. So let's do this.
All right. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Doc. And everybody, please, if you get time, check me out. I've got my own channel. You can just type UniRock into the search. It'll be the first thing that comes up. We're going to live stream later after we have time to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get to yesterday because I was sick, and it's a rarity for me to miss a day. So I'll have 2 videos out and then the stream. So hope to see you guys.
Yeah, guys, go check out his stream. What we usually do is go over to the Afterglow chat. We sit in there, and then eventually Uni says, hey, guys, my stream's starting, and a bunch of us will pile over to his stream. So if you want to keep talking, and this party doesn't end. It's just like a bar. You don't have to go home, but you can't drink here, but you can go over to Unirock's bar, have a drink. Burma, what do you got?
Oh, well, just thank you, as always. And Uni and Mike, it's nice to have you on. You know, you should come on more often. It's awesome what you got to say. So, again, thank you. And I'll just keep it short so you can go run to the bathroom.
Thanks for pointing that
and
out.
And I hope you feel better, really.
I do. It's just,
you know, I really do hope
stuff.
you feel better. And stop eating Doritos, damn it.
Shut up.
You stop eating Doritos and I'll stop smoking. Okay?
Stop smoking. That's never going to happen. I will do that in a
You'll
minute.
never stop eating Doritos.
Oh, hell
either.
yeah. Well, I can't keep eating this stuff. I'm
Hey,
going to die.
don't say never, because I've been doing pretty good with that. Notice I could sit here
smoking?
for your whole entire show and not smoke a cigarette.
I don't know that. You could have been off camera, just like.
Really? Okay, I have to go outside and smoke, and you can hear it thundering and lightning out there right now. It's raining.
I have to give you smokers big credit for how devoted you are to stand out in the storm and smoke. Like, it'll be like 30 below in a blizzard. They're out there puffing away.
Yeah, well, if I could ride on the back of a motorcycle at 30, I definitely could stand outside and smoke a cigarette at 30. So, goes hand in hand.
Oh, gosh.
One of these days.
All right, I'm getting the hell out of here. We tried to close the show like 20 times, so I'm just going to end it. Be positive, support each other, be nice to your cat. See you in the afterglow, guys. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.